identity with this team under Mark Pope, who's now in his 4th season. What have you noticed about them going from Dave Rose to Mark Pope, and how he's kind of handled this program?
I think they're very similar. They both play really fast, and they both rebound the ball. I think I know he worked for Coach Rose. There's a lot of similarities, I think. I think he's built his own identity now. He's done a great job. I know they're transitioning into a different league, but I think that they're very similar as far as offensive rebounding and pushing in transition, and they usually have good outside shooting each year they have a team.
How important is it for Pacific to come out, I guess, a little bit on guard in this game? Because I don't think BYU is going to forget what happened here last year with the Tigers getting that big upset win. And it was a win for the Tigers that cost BYU. You could make the argument a trip to the NCAA tournament. But if BYU comes out like that, what's going to be the key here in the first 4 or 5 minutes or so for the Tigers?
Just for us to consistently get stops and rebound the ball. If we got to do that and set the tone early that we're going to we're going to play really good defense, and then we're going to contest shots and rebound the ball. I think to answer your first question, I think we have 8 new players, so they really don't know anything about that stuff. You know what I mean? I know Luke does and stuff, but I think they have some new players too. But I haven't really thought about the last year's game. I'm only focused when I'm watching these guys now.
Do you want to run with them? Do you want to make this an up-tempo game?
Oh, yes.
Once again, welcome back courtside inside the Alex G. Spano Center. Zach Bay, Rudy, Bob Thomason, so glad to have you with us, and we are moments away from the opening tip. The Tigers and the BYU Cougars to kick off conference play here in the WCC, and welcome to those of you tuning in on the WCC network, watching along with us, and of course on the iHeartRadio app and Fox Sports AM 1280 as well. This is a game the Tigers won last year. Coach and I talked about that, 76-73. The Tigers is 12-point underdogs here at home last year, won that game, upsetting BYU and maybe costing them a trip to the NCAA tournament. And this game now to start league play, so both these teams hoping to get off on the right foot. That is what at stake, what is at stake on the front page of this, and a lot more at stake, of course, that we'll get into as far as the season implications. But let's give you the starting lineups for both teams. We'll start with the BYU Cougars under fourth-year head coach Mark Pope. Going to be Noah Waterman, also Jackson Robinson, Dallin Hall, Fusini Traore, and Gideon George. Again, Waterman, Robinson, Hall, Traore, and George for the BYU Cougars under Mark Pope, again in his fourth season. For the Pacific Tigers under second-year head coach Leonard Perry, it'll be Greg Outlaw, Sam Freeman, Keelan Boone, Luke Avdalovich, and Mo Odom. So again for the Tigers, Outlaw, Freeman, Boone, Avdalovich, and Odom under Leonard Perry in his second season. The Tigers will be wearing their home whites, white shirts, white shorts, and a Pacific written in black, outlined in orange on the front of the jersey, a black number trimmed in orange on the front and the back of the jersey, the last name of each Pacific player in black above the numeral on the back of the jersey, the white shorts, as I mentioned, with black and orange trim down the sides. And right now both teams are in their huddles. BYU about to head to center court. BYU wearing their royal blues, blue tops and shorts. BYU in white block letters on the front of the jersey, a white numeral on the front and the back of the jersey trimmed in a navy blue, and the last name of each BYU player written in white above the white numeral on the back of the jersey. Blue shorts with white trim down the side for BYU. It'll be David Hall, Deldre Carter, and Ryan Holmes. David Hall, Deldre Carter, and Ryan Holmes are officiating crew for this game. Coach, welcome to league play.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I was looking at BYU's stats. They don't shoot the three as well as they usually do coming into the game. They might tonight, and not quite as big and bulky as I've seen BYU teams.
Sam Freeman and Fusini Traore handle the opening tip. It is up controlled by Traore and BYU, and the Cougars move from our left to our right from our vantage point on the far right side of press row next to the Tiger bench. As up top, it is going to be passed off to the left for a three, and that is short off the hand of Jackson Robinson. The rebound taken by the Tigers, who move from our right to our left. As Odom, the freshman, getting the start in this game. Leonard Perry going with this starting lineup. Again, Odom, Avdalovich, Freeman, Boone, and Outlaw. So Odom, the true freshman in the high front court, gives to his right to Keelan Boone. Boone between the circles, going to hold over his head, dribble to his left. Hand it off to Outlaw, moving to his right. Outlaw's on the right wing. Greg, a little hesitation now, penetrates, puts it off the window. No, the rebound is loose off the hand of a BYU Cougar. It'll stay with the Tigers, 4 seconds on the timer.
Pretty tough shot right there to start. You always wanted each player to take a great shot, the first 2 shots of the game, just to get off to a good start.
So 4 seconds on the timer as Odom triggers into Outlaw near corner. He's going to take a long 2. It's no good, but he is fouled. And that is a bad foul there committed by Gideon George.
It almost, when Outlaw caught it, he almost shuffled his feet a little, like he didn't just catch it and shoot it. By delaying it, it helped him because he got fouled. Bad foul by BYU.
Looked a little bit clunky. But nonetheless, Outlaw is going to get to the line and a chance to break the seal in this one. Great crowd here at the Spano Center.
Great crowd tonight. You know, they have 2 guys start tonight. They haven't started all year. Usually what that means to me is like guys are a little late from getting back to Christmas or not practicing like they should be.
Free throw is up and good for Outlaw. Well, you know, I hadn't got into it and talked to Leonard Perry about who was able to come back in time and who was not, but obviously there are a lot of travel snags for a lot of folks around the country, and it affected a lot of people in college basketball as Outlaw makes both the free throws. And now BYU trailing 2-0. Their second possession is up top. It is Jackson Robinson who will hand it off to Gideon George. George's been a player this year for him, averaging 12 points a game and just over 6 boards. He'll hand it back to Robinson, 10 on the timer. Robinson moving to his left, slings it back to his right to Hall. Little head fake, penetrates, scoops it toward the rim. No, but he gets fouled, bumped off there down low.
Again, you don't want to foul him on such a hard shot. I mean, his chance to make this shot to me was not very good. You don't want to put him in the line.
Mo Odom, the guilty party on the foul. So Odom picks up his first personal. And it'll get Dallin Hall to the line where he's a 63% free throw shooter. True freshman from Plain City, Utah. First one is up and good.
BYU's run some good stuff the first 2 possessions, but Tigers have done a great job defensively.
Second one coming for Hall. It's up, and that is no good. Too strong, and the rebound is loose, and it's flung back in. And now in the hands of Hall. It's flung in by Waterman, who's going to spot up for a 3 from the far side. It's no good. And then Robinson had a chance to clamp the rebound, but it goes off his hands into the first row of end-line seats. It'll go back to the Tigers. So Pacific takes over, leading 2-1 inside the first couple of minutes here from the Spanos Center. From our right to our left, Odom, the true freshman from the Bronx, drives right of the lane, kicks it out right corner to Outlaw. Shot fake on a 3, step to his left, take the 3, and it's short. And the long rebound pops out to Gideon George. George into the front court. George stops on the right wing, gives to Hall. Hall, a little fake to his right, keeps the ball, slings a skip pass far side that's stolen. Stolen by Outlaw. Outlaw to his left to Boone. Keelan on the left wing will get it back to the high front court to Odom near the Power Cat logo. He'll start the dribble now, kick to his left to Outlaw. Outlaw hesitates, moves to his right off a screen, gives to Boone. Boone dribbles one time, shovels to Odom. Back to Keelan, who cuts to the bucket, and Boone puts it up, and in. They're going to call a blocking foul, so count the bucket. And the foul's going to be on Gideon George.
Really nice pass on the screen and roll. Great finish, getting the foul.
Nice little two-man game there. Got Boone to the rim. So Pacific leading 4-1. Again, they counted the bucket. They did not put the score up. There it is. They changed the score on the board. It was changed on the live stats, but not the board. But that shot did count. And Boone trying to complete a three-point play. And he will. So nice start for the Tigers here, leading 5-1. BYU into the front court as Dallin Hall will give it up top to Fusini Traore. Traore, who has been an impact player for them this season, averaging just over 13 a game, almost lost it, gets it back, then has it knocked away. Avdalovic comes away with the loose ball to Odom on the far side. Back to Avdalovic, a long 3 right side, got it.
Great pass by Odom.
Tigers 8, Cougars 1. As Hall to Traore. Traore give on the left wing to Spencer Johnson. Johnson to Waterman. Shot fake Waterman to Hall. Now near corner for a 3. That is Jackson Robinson, and he answers right back. The transfer from Arkansas, 33% shooter from beyond the arc. It's Pacific 8 and BYU 4. Boone, clumsy dribble up top, will give it to Odom. Odom on the mouth of the Power Cat gives on the left wing to Outlaw. Dribbling to his right is Outlaw. Bounce pass to Freeman to Odom on the right side. Odom dribbling to his left, kicks it to his left to Boone. Boone on the left wing will dribble to his left, take a step back 3, and that is too strong. Offensive rebound, Freeman, great board, but then he lost the ball, and Noah Waterman comes away with it. Well, Freeman got it, then lost it, now to Dallin Hall. And Hall to his right to Robinson. Skip pass far side to Spencer Johnson for 3, and that's good. And Spencer Johnson is back from an injury. He had a bone bruise on his left knee. He injured it versus Butler in the Atlantis tournament. Battle for Atlanta, so he's playing just his 7th game. This is his first game back since then, since about Thanksgiving, and he drains a 3 to draw BYU to within 1, 8-7 Pacific. On the right wing, it's Outlaw, moving to his left, drives in the paint, little Euro step, did not go anywhere. The ball goes out of bounds, they say, last touch by Outlaw.
That's 2 4 shots by him so far in this game. You know, he's got to be patient.
So BYU at one point trailed 8-1, and it's now 8-7. A fast start for both teams here at the Spanos Center. The Cougars a chance to grab the lead as Hall will move it from our left to our right. Hall cuts it toward the far left sideline. Dribbles through the legs, gives it to Johnson. Right back to Hall it goes. Off a Traore screen, dribbles to his right. I tried to pass it to Waterman on the near side, and that flew out of his hand. I think it's
well, you know, he should have passed the ball to him, but that pass was, I hope he lost it.
I don't know, he was trying to find over there, but it was someone in a Tiger jersey sitting on the bench. So now for the Tigers, Nick Blake checks in. Also Donovan Williams. So Blake and Williams are off the bench now for Pacific. Avdalovic on the near side. Dalovich will give it up top to Nick Blake. Blake waves the ball between his knees, dribbles to his left, now tries to drive left of the lane, does, and it tries to throw it up and gets fouled.
You know, he's a tough driver. It seems like he almost goes better left. You know, he goes left. He likes going left a lot.
That's a great point made by you, Coach, and something we hadn't identified up until now, but I do agree. We've seen Nick Blake drive left, and he has been very tough to contain when doing so. That brings us to our first time out on the floor here from the Spano Center, and this time out with 15:56 to go in the first half. Pacific Tigers 8, the BYU Cougars 7. We're back after this on Fox Sports AM 1280, the iHeartRadio app, and the WCC network.
Chase Chevrolet has been winning California business
since 1944.
Get a little Stocktonian in you.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Jamie, and we're owners of Smitty's Wings and Things here in Stockton.
As a former pro football player, Steve Smith knows about winning.
Football and business is about teamwork.
When they needed a new Tahoe for their business, a winning drive from the team at Chase Chevrolet was just a few clicks away.
And then delivered our car the next day, so it was very easy. I would do it again.
There's no competition.
Chase Chevrolet.
Buy into it.
Welcome to University of the Pacific. I'm Dr. Jeff Levine, Dean of Undergraduate Admission. People ask me all the time, hey Jeff, why University of the Pacific? Really, there's 5 main reasons. We're a big university with choices and small college caring. We have student-driven research for real and lasting change. We have real-life learning outside of the classroom through internships and co-ops. We have a campus culture building a sustainable future and a classic college vibe in Northern California. We invite you to join the roar.
Just underway in the first half, Zach Bay, Rudy, Bob Thomas, and glad to have you with us for the WCC opener. And the early returns, checking those, the Tigers are 2 of 5 from the floor, 1 of 2 from 3. Luka Dalovich making the 3 for Pacific. BYU 2 of 4 from the floor, and both of their field goals have been from three-point land. And the Cougars 1 of 2 from the line. The Tigers are 3 of 3 from the line, and they are back to the line after this timeout as Nick Blake is there. And Blake with a 2-shot foul. First one is up and good. So Blake extends the Pacific lead 9-7. Second one for Blake is up and good. So 10-7 Pacific by 3, 15:56 and counting to go here in the first half. Our left to our right go the Cougars, and it's Johnson on the near side, up top to Waterman. Waterman dribbling to his left, will hand it off to Rudy Williams. Williams gives it to the left corner for a 3, and that's good. Noah Waterman ties this game at 10 with a made 3, a 44% three-point shooter, so you've got to be aware where he is at all times.
Yeah, they got to get to him a little quicker than that.
Blake on the right wing to Donovan Williams. Williams a ball fake, now drives with his left hand, goes toward the cup and gets blocked. Coming away with a loose ball, Waterman. Long pass to Johnson across the way, and alley-oop feed to Williams. He missed the tip back.
Yeah, Williams should have cut that with 2 hands.
Yeah, you know. Williams tried to tip it up with 1, and now Keelan Boone in transition in the lane, puts it up, leaves it short. The ball is loose on the end line, and out of bounds, they say last touched by Pacific. So BYU will take over in a 10-10 game. The Cougars looking to lead for the first time here tonight.
I think you just got to catch that with, you know, you're trying to catch a lot with 1 hand, control it, finish it. You know, if you're 6'9", 6'10", I can understand that, but not a guard.
Johnson up top to Waterman. Rudy Williams, by the way, transferred in from Coastal Carolina, first-year player here for BYU. Is Canadian from Hamilton, Ontario. Has the ball right now, gives to Robinson, right wing for 3, and that is short for Jackson Robinson, and the rebound taken by the Tigers. Blake our right to our left, across center court, now to the point, and Blake will backpedal toward the mouth of the Power Cat as the offense gets situated. Blake pounding the dribble with his left hand, gives to Williams on the left wing. Williams looks back to his right, gives to Blake up top. Blake dribbling to his left, stops. Terminated the dribble, needs somewhere to go, gives to Freeman, who hands it right back to Nick. Now on the right side, he's going to spot up for a 3, and that is an air ball. And Williams trying to save it from going out of bounds, but had no one to save it to, and it's going to be Cougar ball. They called a flop here on the Tigers, a flop warning. I'm not sure who. The free throw, though, the technical free throw is up and good for Jackson Robinson. That's how the Cougars lead for the first time. They say who that was called on? on Nick Blake, so they called Nick Blake for a flop on that. Didn't quite see the signal, thank you. So BYU 11, Pacific 10. Again, the Cougars lead for the first time, and they have the ball after the technical free throws. Williams skips it toward the far left side, gives to Johnson. Almost traveled. Johnson now moves to his left. Wearing a brace on that left knee. Again, it's his first game back since injuring that in Atlantis. Gonna give it to Williams, driving in from the far corner. Lost the handle on it, gets it back, saves it to Johnson. Ball poked away, gathered in by Robinson. Slings it down low off the hand of Waterman, and finally taken away by Nick Blake.
Well, they made about 3 passes they wanted them to steal, but they finally did it.
Tigers finally got their paws on the ball. Now Jalen Brown in the game for the first time. A shot fake from the left side. Brown gives it to Williams, near side. And Williams chest pass across the way to Blake on the far side. Blake tapping his head with his right hand now with 12 on the shot timer. Blake moving to his left. Blake's gonna give it back to his right to Boone for 3, and that is too strong. Bad shot there for Keelan. Rebound taken by Robinson. Robinson's gonna go down the middle, give it to Williams near corner. And Williams will lob it back out to Johnson. Johnson off the dribble, goes right of the lane, tried to scoop it up, was blocked out of bounds. Blocked by Cam Denson, who's checked in for the first time. And it goes out of bounds off of Denson. So for the Tigers, it's Denson, Brown, Boone, Blake, and Williams. For the Cougars, it's Rudy Williams. Also Johnson, I see Atiki Ali Atiki and Waterman as well. As Rudy Williams in the high front court for BYU, and also Jackson Robinson on the floor for the Cougars, that 5th player. Rudy Williams gonna take a shot from near the right elbow, no good. Ali Atiki gets a rebound, has the ball knocked away out of bounds. Last touch by Nick Blake, who I believe is a player that swiped it away.
Waited a little too long to make his move. Get that rebound, go make a good power move.
So baseline right, it'll be Rudy Williams to trigger in with the 18 on the shot clock. 13-14 to go in the first half. 11-10 BYU is on the right wing. It's Waterman, slip it out far side to Robinson. Robinson now in the high front court to Williams. Rudy Williams at the point, skipping a dribble to his left, knifing his way through the D, gives it out to Waterman. Shot fake on a 3, drives left of the lane, scoops it up, leaves it short. Ball is loose and controlled by Blake on the near side. Blake left-handed dribble into the front court up the near sideline. Lobs it across the way to Brown. Open for 3, and he got it.
It's one thing Brown can do, shoot. So anytime he's open, get it to him.
13-11, Pacific back in front by 2. Is moving to his right is Waterman. Waterman to Williams. Williams directing traffic, gives to Ali Atiki off to his left. Ali Atiki to Williams, dribbling to his left, stops, gives it now to Waterman on the right wing. Waterman guarded by Denson, drives toward the baseline. Waterman stops after the double team, gives it out right wing to Williams. 4 to shoot, Williams a step back 2, tough shot, and he drains it with Nick Blake in his face. Nothing they could have done about that.
No, that's good defense, and you just give them credit for that.
So it's 13-13. The scoreboard says 15-13 here, but it should say 13-13. And now a live ball turnover as it's going to be taken away by Johnson, who takes it to the bucket, and Nick Blake with a goaltend. Blake emphatically blocked it, but that ball was above the cylinder, and that's a correct call there from David Hall. So it's 15-13 BYU with 12:02 to go here in the first half. Keelan Boone will check out.
They're having a tough time with the score tonight, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know what's up, but it's a 15-13 BYU, and I'm trying to see who checked in. It was Beard who checked in for Keelan Boone.
As a coach, I never mind when the other team didn't get their points. Just when we didn't get our points, I didn't like that.
Yeah, it was one of the tricks you had up your sleeve, I'm sure. As Blake from our right to our left into the front court. 15-13 Cougars. It's been a competitive first half here, back and forth as Blake moving to his right. Blake on the right wing stops, gives it to Williams, now to Jalen Brown. Brown on the left wing terminated the dribble. Is being swarmed there by Richie Saunders, who's just checked in for BYU for the first time. Now to Denson. Denson spins in the paint, puts it up right hand, no, and the rebound taken by Ali Atiki. To Saunders, to Williams, and now Williams at the point, stops and tries to feed it out, is knocked away by the Tigers. Bad spacing there for BYU, and Jalen Brown has it, and Brown hesitates into the front court, gives it to Donovan Williams up top. Williams to his right to Nick Blake. Blake dribbling to his left, kicks it to Beard on the left wing. Beard crosses over, and Beard still on the left wing, stopped the dribble, gives to Blake near corner. Blake in front of the BYU bench starts to dribble around the horn to his right. He's going to take a 3, and it's short. And the rebound taken by BYU. Body went crashing to the floor. No whistle. Williams went down for the Tigers, and now it's going to be a 3 from the left wing for Saunders, and he switches it through. Donovan Williams had to to scrape himself off the floor. He got bumped on the loose ball. There was no whistle. I thought it was a good no whistle as the bodies were flying around and Williams got bumped, fell down. And
are they going to call that a flop?
That's exactly what I want to know, is if there's no foul on that, isn't that a flop? But either way, it takes us to a timeout on the floor. As timeout was called, this will be under 12 media timeout with 10:53 to go in the first half. It's the BYU Cougars 18, the Pacific Tigers 13. And we're back after this on Fox Sports, AM 1280, the iHeartRadio app, and the WCC network.
I've always wanted to come here since I was little. I remember I would pass by here when I was younger. We would come and take pictures or come for tours when I was like in middle school. And I was like, whoa, this is amazing. I was just in shock by the buildings themselves and the history of UOP and the people within it. It was just a beautiful place that I dreamt of. I thought maybe one day if I work really, really hard and I'm truly good at what I do, I might be able to get in, and I'm here and I love it. Hi, my name is Lila Valencia and I'm a fine arts major here at UOP, and this is my art studio.
.10:53 to go in the opening stanza. BYU 18, Pacific 13. ZB and Coach T, glad to have you with us. The Tigers led 8-1 at one point in this game. BYU came right back and answered, and the coach has been an entertaining ball game today.
It has been really entertaining. The Tigers need to take their time and get some good shots. They haven't had any good looks lately.
Donovan Williams moving to his left, hands it to Beard up top. Beard to his right, now weaves it back to his left. Beard inside the three-point arc, is going to get out right wing to Jalen Brown for three, and that's too strong. And a rebound taken by Saunders. Nice rebound there for Richie Saunders, the freshman from Riverton, Utah. And now in transition, BYU finding Jackson Robinson, far corner. Gonna get out to Johnson, right wing for three, and that's around the rim and out. And the rebound is loose, controlled by Saunders. Offensive rebound, Cougars. And now in the hands of Williams, who dumps it left the lane to Aliatiki. Now to Robinson, right wing. He launches a deep three and connects.
You know, their stats I was looking at, they're really trying to shoot the three. There must be a lot better shooters than their stats are so far this year.
21-13, BYU has answered right back after the Tigers had that initial 8-1 lead as Williams up top. Williams pass to the right wing to Denson, a little head fake. Denson gives to Williams up top. Williams a ball fake, he's gonna take the three, and that's wide left. The Tigers gonna have to get better shots than that, even though it was an open shot. Rebound taken by BYU, Rudy Williams to Jackson Robinson. Robinson holding over his head, gives to Ali Atiki up top. Atiki Ali Atiki from Tanzania. Holding still at the point, gives to Robinson. Robinson waves between his knees, now dribbles to his right, goes down right of the lane, kicks it out far corner to Richie Saunders for three around the rim and out, and a rebound taken by Pacific. Cam Denson up the far right sideline, alternating hands with the dribble, stops on the right wing. And Denson now is going to drive in, and he is going to shove off of Spencer Johnson. Clear extension of the arm, you can see it from all the way down here. So an offensive foul, and BYU gets it on the turnover.
Having a hard time offensively right now. They're just not in sync, and they're not creating any good shots for each other. Every shot is like a contested, tough shot. And some of the players that aren't the best three-point shooters are getting the shot more than the three-point shooters getting the shot.
Vicini Traore, Dallin Hall back on the floor for BYU. I think those are the only two substitutions for the Tigers. Mo Odom, Keelan Boone are out there, as well as Luka Vdalovic. And Beard and Denson stay out there as Hall shovels to Saunders, moving to his right now, curls it down right of the lane. Saunders goes up, misses everything, gets somehow the loose ball, puts a reverse layup up and not in, and a rebound falls to Mo Odom. Odom into the front court, moving to his left, hands to Vdalovic, quick release on a three, and it's no good, short. Rebound taken by Traore, and Traore left to our right to the front court. Now Vicini has it up top, dribbles one time to his left, stops. Looking for options now, lobs it to Rudy Williams, far side. Williams to Robinson, who went right to the middle of the paint, unencumbered, and lays it up.
I don't think anybody's guarding him that time.
He was all by himself, and Leonard Perry trying to alert his guys, but nobody was home for the Tigers. Look out, BYU has a 10-point lead, and a timeout called by Pacific with 8:33 to go in the first half. This will not be the media timeout. This is still above the 8.5-minute mark. So a 30-second timeout called by Leonard Perry here with 8:33 to go. What are you seeing that BYU has done very well here in the last 5+ minutes, Coach?
Well, BYU has done the same thing they did at the beginning. You know, they really share the ball. They move the ball quickly. They do dribble rubs, on-ball screens, and they space out, and they drive, and they look for each other. And they're shooting the three. They're starting to make that shot now. And also, the only thing that's been the bugaboo on them is they make some silly passes. You know, they have some silly passes that you wonder, how did they turn that ball over? So the turnovers has hurt them, but the Tigers haven't capitalized on that.
Taking a look at these numbers now at this timeout. 5 turnovers from BYU. Tigers have generated 8 points off of those turnovers. Tigers turned the ball over 4 times. BYU has 5 points off of turnovers. But the Tigers, you know, we talked about Donovan Williams had that open 3. You know, it was an open shot, but the Tigers can't afford to miss those types of shots in this game if they're going to shoot at that volume. They're 2 of 9 from beyond the arc. So they just can't afford those
3 of 15
misses.
from the floor.
Yeah, they can't afford those misses. As Odom has it off the inbound, gives it to Boone near the left elbow. Boone is back to the hoop, gives to Odom up top. Odom dribbling to his left and now cuts it back to his right. Gives to Boone, right corner. He'll take a 3 and knock it down, and the Tigers needed it.
They really needed that bad. They were 1 for their last 11.
Traore on the right wing gives to Saunders, and now on the left wing to Dallin Hall. Hall to his left to Jackson Robinson. Skip pass near side to Saunders, drives baseline right, gives a bounce pass, or tries to Traore, but the Tigers sniffed that out. It was Odom getting his hands on it and guiding that ball out of bounds before Traore got an easy look. For BYU, Noah Waterman will check in, and Jackson Robinson will check out. So from baseline left, it'll be Rudy Williams to inbound. And Williams lobs the inbound to Waterman, far corner. Waterman to Hall on the left wing, and now Hall off a Traore screen, dribbles to his right, slings it back to Waterman, drives baseline left, and counters a double team there as Freeman came over to help. Waterman still with it, gives it out to Williams, right wing, drives through the Tiger defense, jumps, kicks it out to Dallin Hall for 3. That is good, but I think it's a shot clock violation. They're going to take a look at it. The shot went in. I don't think it's going to count. That's my first gut reaction. Do you think that was late, the shot? Or do you think he got it off in time?
It's close, but what I don't understand is they said no basket. I thought they did. But now they're going to go look at it.
Well,
if you said no basket, why do you have to look at it?
Well, we'll sort it out after the timeout on the floor, and it comes to 6:28 to go in the first half. The BYU Cougars 23, the Pacific Tigers 16, and we're back after this on Fox Sports AM 1280, the iHeartRadio app, and the WCC network. 7:46 to go in the first half. Zach Bayrooney, Bob Thomas, and the Pacific Tigers and the BYU Cougars kicking off conference play here in the WCC. We'll do a scoreboard update at halftime, let you know what else is happening tonight in the league. Tyler Beard inbounds to Mo Odom. Also Sam Freeman, Keelan Boone, and Luke Avdalovic out there for the Tigers as the Pacific moves from our right to our left, trailing 23-16. They did wave off that 3 for Dallin Hall. It was a shot clock violation going into that media timeout. As Beard dribbles, drives, curls around a Hall, gets to the baseline, trying to penetrate and leave a pass in the lane, and a loose ball, and now bodies flying everywhere. It's going to be a jump ball, and a possession arrow belongs to the Tigers.
Never a great idea to leave your feet to pass. Stop in there, look around, make sure you get the ball to people, make a good, simple bounce pass.
I feel like that's becoming more and more prominent in the game now. As Jordan Ivy Curry checks in for Tyler Beard, also going to be Johnson checking in for Williams for BYU. But I feel like a lot more guys are leaving their feet to pass these days. Do you feel that way?
What coach will let them do, right?
It's going to be a shot taken and missed, and the rebound taken by BYU. As BYU getting out in transition to Traore on the middle of the lane, and Traore's going to put up a shot that rattles in.
Very nice. Took his time, jump stop. It's still a tough shot. He made it.
25-16, BYU is up top. It's Keelan Boone to Mo Odom on the left wing. Odom dribbles to his left. Odom's going to take a long step back three. It's around the rim and out. The rebound clamped by Traore. To Dallin Hall. Hall gives it to Waterman on the left wing. Waterman started in with the dribble, then stops, gives it to Hall, and now Traore back to Hall at the point. Hall dribbles to his left. Between the circles, stops, gives to Saunders. Saunders going to drive it in toward the baseline, slings it in the lane to a cutter, and going up and getting fouled. Spencer Johnson. That was a great pass.
But he was on balance. Saw cutter came and gave it to him. Was it a layup or he had the foul?
Yeah, that was a great look there. As Johnson's going to get to the line. Nice look there from Saunders. So Johnson at the line. And this season, 67% for Johnson, again, playing in his first game since injuring his left knee versus Butler in the battle for Atlantis. So this is the 7th game he's played this season, as Johnson's first one is up and rattles through. And BYU's lead is now 10.
So being down 8-1, they're outscoring by 17 since that time. So really good comeback on the road for the BYU Cougars.
Second one for Johnson is upcoming. It's in the air and it's good. So it's an 11-point lead now for BYU, and the Tigers have to be careful here. 27-16 BYU. Tigers need a bucket. They need a good look. As Odom's going to give it to Avdalovic, driving right of the lane. Avdalovic throws up a 13-foot contested shot that's no good. The rebound taken by Traore. That just wasn't as clean as you would have liked it to be. It was Luke under duress. He can make those shots, don't get me wrong, but Tigers need better looks. As Hall's going to give it to Traore, or try and lob it to him on a penetration. It's stolen by Mo Odom. Odom into the front court. Gives in the lane to Freeman, who throws it up. Can't get it to go, but he does get fouled. And the foul is going to be on Noah Waterman, so that'll get Sam Freeman to the line. 27-16 BYU. Freeman doesn't shoot a lot of free throws. He's 7 of 12 this season, so 58%. First one is up and no good. BYU's going to get a sub in here as Richie Saunders is back in. And he takes over for Noah Waterman. Second one is up and too strong, and the rebound taken by Johnson. So Freeman comes up empty at the line. BYU a chance to expand an 11-point lead. Our left to our right, Hall in the front court. Hall moving to his right. Hall is going to hesitate, stop at the free throw line, give a bounce pass to Traore that was knocked away, but Traore gets it back. Traore now facing up the hoop, going to work on Freeman. Traore is back to the hoop. Traore for somewhere to go, gives it to Hall with 9 to shoot. Hall in the right wing starts to drive, kicks it out to Saunders near corner. Saunders crosses over. 3 to shoot, now 2, and Saunders gives it to Traore. Has to force a shot that's blocked by Freeman. Got a shot clock violation. Good defense there for the Tigers. Freeman, the last line of defense there to deny that last desperation shot for Traore.
When it's not going smooth for BYU, they're almost one pass to turn the ball over. I mean, when it goes smooth, they know what they're doing. They're pretty good. But once it gets off keel, you're going to have to get them off keel. They'll be turning the ball over.
You're right. It does get a bit helter-skelter for them when things start to break down. I have noticed that here in the first half, where we have 5:35 and counting to go in the opening stanzas. Ivy Curry's going to take fall away, too. It's no good. Rebound pinballing around down low is going to be finally grabbed by Spencer Johnson. Across the way, gives it to Jackson Robinson in the backcourt. Now to Johnson, who's in the front court, left wing for 2, and it's no good. Rebound tipped by Freeman, controlled by Odom. Up the near left sideline goes Odom, gives to Ivy Curry, left corner, drives baseline. Give a skip pass to Boone, and now on the right wing to Avdalovic for 3, and that's good.
That was a really good pass. Boone's a good shooter, but Luke's a better shooter. Give it to the open man.
Johnson on the right wing to Hall in the high front court. Hall will start to dribble, alternating hands in the high front court. And Hall moving to his left, gives it to Robinson. Robinson slings it back to his left to Hall. Hall looking to enter Traore. He does. Traore puts the ball on the floor and goes into Avdalovic. They're going to call a foul here on Avdalovic for a body bump. See Judson Martindale getting ready to check in for the Tigers. And Judson will check in for Sam Freeman, who's limping off. Sam is pointing to the instep of his left foot, so Chris Pond's going to go to work on that, the head athletic trainer. So baseline left, it'll be inbounded by BYU. The inbound goes to Jackson Robinson. Down low to Traore with a shot fake, and Traore goes up and gets fouled by Keelan Boone. That's a 5th team foul on the Tigers. This will be a 2-shot foul, though.
Tigers have played 12 guys already this game. 12 guys. There's a lot of shots have been off 1 or 2 passes, real early in the shot clock, just average shots, you know what I mean? And they're not shooting a great percentage. They got to get the ball moving. They got to create more. Let the good shooters have a chance to score first.
So Traore at the line, and his first one is up and good. Fassini Traore, sophomore from Bamako, Mali, a 76% free throw shooter. And talk about a guy with a wingspan. Traore is a presence with that wingspan. Second one is up and good. And with that, BYU's going to get another sub, and Trey Stewart checks in for Spencer Johnson. Cam Denson, Mo Odom, Luke Avdalovic, Jordan Ivy Curry, and Judson Martindale on the floor now for the Tigers. Martindale seeing his first minutes. As Ivy Curry on the left wing dribbles to his right, gives to Martindale, now to Odom on the right side. Odom left-handed dribble, and he's going to give to his left to Denson. Denson chest pass to Avdalovic on the left wing, dribbles one time, gives it up top to Martindale, now to Odom. Odom with 11 to shoot, backpedals, retreating toward midcourt. Now Odom drives to his left, drives down left of the lane, gives it to Martindale, but he traveled. Odom dragged his foot, and he had Martindale cutting, and it would have been there had Odom not traveled. It was clear to see that he dragged his pivot foot.
You got to be able to dribble and stop without traveling. You got to be able to do that. You can't be off balance.
So from our left to our right, BYU into the front court with a 10-point lead, 29-19 Cougars. As Hall moving to his left, stops, gives to Robinson. Robinson lobbing to Traore, and they're going to call a 3-second violation on Fassini Traore. So 3 seconds called on BYU. And with the turnover, the Tigers will get it, trailing by 10. Chance to cut into this BYU lead as Martindale hands it to Ivy Curry, pounding the dribble, moving to his right, gives to Odom. Odom off a screen, dribbles to his left, spots up for a straightaway 3, and it's too strong. Skying in for the rebound is Denson, elevated over everyone. So 20-second reset on the timer as Denson will lob it to Odom near side, across the way to Ivy Curry, and Ivy Curry on the far sideline. Drives around a couple of defenders, kicks it near corner to Avdalovic, now to Odom for 3, and that is around the rim and out. Denson tips it back, but it won't go. And Denson, all he had to do was guide it back in.
That was a great play, though. I mean, he tried. He just hit it too hard.
Now Stewart for BYU gives to Traore up top. Traore will hand it to Rudy Williams. Williams off a screen, moves to his left, now drives left of the lane. Little footwork down there, gives it to Traore in the lane, and Traore with a shot fake gets fouled on his way to the cup. And we'll see what they get. They're going to get Mo Odom for the foul, and that's going to get Traore to the line for 2 shots. And we come back after this timeout on the floor from the Spano Center. This timeout with 3:21 to go in the first half. The BYU Cougars 29, Pacific Tigers 19. We're back after this on Fox Sports AM 1280, the iHeartRadio app, and the WCC network.
Hello everyone, my name is Ayla Shah. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm currently a sophomore at the University of the Pacific, majoring in business administration. And welcome to Grace Cavell Hall. With over 175 rooms, Grace Cavell Hall is the biggest residential hall on Pacific's campus. Living on campus is one big part of what makes Pacific feel like home. It helps you fit into the campus community right away. The rooms start as a blank canvas, but once you bring your belongings, your bedding, your art, it is an amazing opportunity for you to show your personality. Quick tip, I recommend you bring a refrigerator so you can have your snacks on hand.
Zach Bay, Rudy, Bob Thomason, glad to have you with us on Fox Sports AM 1280, the iHeartRadio app, and the WCC network. Tonight's Family Day here at the Spanos Center, presented by Chick-fil-A, Amy Scriven, DDS, John Rader's State Farm, and Parks Group. Family Day here at the Spanos Center. And hope you and your family had a great holiday and are getting ready for a happy new year, as Traore's first free throw is up and good. So Fousseyni Traore is now 3 of 3 from the line in this game. Second one is up and good. 31-19 BYU with 3:21 to go in the first half. Atiki Ali Atiki back in for Fousseyni Traore, who gets a breather here. 3:20 and counting to go in the first half. And it's BYU 31, Pacific 19. Blake gives on the left wing to Denson. Denson on the left wing. Chest pass up top to Ivy Curry. A step back left wing three, and that's no good. Well short. The rebound taken by Jackson Robinson. And ahead to Stewart it goes. Stewart shovels it back to Robinson. Kicks it far side to Dallin Hall. Now a skip pass this side. A lot of mustard on it to Williams. He saves it somehow from going out of bounds. Or did he? I guess he didn't. I guess they say he stepped on the sideline.
It's the only thing saving the Tigers is poor passing by BYU.
And for Brigham Young, that is their 10th turnover of the half.
It's hard to believe they're up 12, 10 turnovers and a half.
Blake, our right to our left in the front court, gives to Ivy Curry. Now up top to Martindale to Denson. Denson crosses over and moves to his left, stops the dribble, gives to Martindale on the right side, and now to Blake. Blake dribbling to his left, trying to get downhill. Blake gets into the paint and puts it up with the left hand and gets two. He talked about how good he is with the left hand.
Yeah, he's got to do that more often.
Left to our right into the front court, Jackson Robinson, and Robinson's going to drive in the paint, getting tied up in there, and the possession arrow belongs to BYU. Good tie-up, though, there by the Tigers. So the Tigers, after this ball is inbounded, will have the arrow back. Spencer Johnson checks in for Trey Stewart.
Anytime you're on defense, you get tie-up. It's good defense. I mean, yeah, it's going to flip that card to yours next time.
Baseline right. Hall will inbound. He inbounds to Robinson, and Robinson will give it to his left to Williams. Williams near the right elbow is going to dribble to his left in the key, get it down low to Ali Atiki, and Ali Atiki amongst the trees down there puts it up but misses the lay-in. And a rebound taken by Martindale to Ivy Curry, and now to Blake, who is trailing the play, and away from the ball there's going to be an offensive foul on the Tigers. That was completely on the other side where that play was developing, and it's going to be on Cam Denson. I don't know what he did because I was watching the ball, but it was on the other side of the court.
He either pushed off a guy or just ran over a guy without knowing he was there.
So into the front court goes Dallin Hall, and Hall moving to his left. Hall inside the left wing will give it to Williams. Williams skips to his right, now trying to cut it back to his left. Williams at the point, and Williams is going to go to his left, stops near the left elbow, leans into one, and knocks it down.
He picked up, he gave a shot fake, and Curry left his feet, and he created a little step through, but tough shot, nice shot.
So a minute 36 and counting to go in the first half. Martindale drives baseline left, kicks it out to Blake, far side. Blake is going to spin right of the lane. Blake up with the right hand, puts it up and in, and he's going to go to the line. What athleticism on display by Nick Blake.
What a great move.
And the foul is going to be on Dallin Hall. Great spin, great finish for Nick Blake. So for Blake, chance to complete a three-point play, make it a 9-point game, and he leaves the free throw short. The rebound taken by Rudy Williams. So from our left to our right, BYU will move, leading by 10 with a minute 20 and counting to go here in the first half. As Williams to his left to Robinson, back to Williams. Williams moving to his left, will hand it to Dallin Hall. Hall's going to give a skip pass this side to Johnson. Shot fake on a three. He's going to put a floater up, and it missed everything. And Nick Blake takes the loose ball, lobs it up the far sideline to Ivy Curry. Juice to his left, gives to Denson on the left wing. Denson back to Ivy Curry as everything kind of slowed down there. As Blake now in the high front court. Blake shaking his head side to side, will dribble to his left, and now Blake's going to spot up for a three. It's no good. And a rebound taken by Ali Atiki. 45 seconds to go in the first half. 10-point lead for BYU. as Williams weaves into the front court. Williams to his right, drives, slings it out far side, and there's going to be an offensive foul called on Williams. Williams drove before he slung that pass out to the far side, ran into Luka Vdalovic. So 35.1 seconds to go here in the first half. And for the Tigers, this is a big possession, coach. You get a chance to be within single digits here at halftime.
They just haven't shot the ball very well, but I don't think they've got any easy baskets. And they have everybody just playing 13 guys. And 13 guys just have all just taking their opportunity to score, and they're hoping it works out.
So Ivy Curry into the front court and letting some time bleed off. There is a 4-second difference shot clock to game clock. Ivy Curry, right wing, and Ivy Curry's going to drive, spin, and a tough spin, kind of lost his footing, throws it up to the backboard and hit just the backboard. Now BYU with it. Williams, the left wing to Johnson for three at the horn, and that is good, and that is a disastrous ending to the first half for the Tigers as BYU nails a three right before the buzzer.
Yeah, not very good play down at one end, and they got their best shooter a wide open shot at the other end. For having 11 turnovers, it's amazing they're up 13.
Yeah, I don't think BYU played its best half. They certainly shot the ball well enough, but talking about those turnovers, you feel like this game should be a little bit closer, especially.
And they're bad turnovers. It's not like they're like, you understand it because of pressure. It's just like throwing the ball away.
Well, and especially since the Tigers started this game with an 8-1 lead, and here we are at halftime, and the Pacific trails by 13. So that is the end of the first half. Coach and I will digest the numbers here. We'll come back and run down all the numbers from half number one. We'll also take you around the WCC on this opening night for the West Coast Conference. Again, our score at intermission, the BYU Cougars 36, Pacific Tigers 23. And Coach and I are back for our halftime report in 4 minutes on Fox Sports AM 1280, the iHeartRadio app, and the WCC network.
Dr. Joseph Matthews and I have been bringing our classes together since 2015. We wanted to give our students an applied experience working on a real-life project in an interdisciplinary environment.
You know, when Marie and I came up with this crazy idea a few years ago, we were like, okay, how are we going to make this work? Because each time we do it, we do something new.
Her promotions management or international marketing class and my graphic design 3 class create campaigns for either local businesses or international nonprofits.
I think it was an amazing opportunity because in most cases you see designers working in marketing firms, they kind of go hand in hand. And I think having that experience really puts it in perspective. Marketers, designers, like we were able to get a really good contribution from both sides. It really was a great project.
Marketing students create a marketing campaign and the designers support their solution with a visual campaign of specific deliverables like logos, posters, brochures, social media posts, advertisements, or websites.
I mean, our side of the business is research and whatnot, and just trying to get them the right information. Those deliverables that they came up with, I think just totally took it to a whole nother level. So it was a lot of fun working with them. I've never done anything like that for classes.
Your future is amazing. I've told you all this a million times. Thank you. And this has been a really beautiful experience working with all of the students and seeing where we started and where we arrived at, you know, and that they got so involved. Became so much a part of the conversation from a very early stage. That was very moving, very inspiring.
My Breast Kept Secrets hopes to bring awareness to women's struggle in finding bra sizes.
Trinidad and Tobago has a very diverse culture. They have a mixed population of Indians, Africans, Creole, Chinese, Amerindian, Arabic, Latino, and European ethnic groups.
Matamo is a high-end luxury travel company specializing in ecotourism. Matamo offers safari services in Kenya, Kilimanjaro, Rwanda, Seychelles, and Tanzania.
I have to really compliment the students. They're really talented young people with bright futures, and it's very encouraging. It really had a clear definition. When that hour was up, they were done. I really appreciate that they were able to see that. Because when you're leading that and you can say, look, I commit to that hour, it respects people's time so much.
You all have actually fast-tracked my action towards getting the products ready.
I felt like an internship actually. Just felt so like professional sitting in those meetings. I felt like I was in a market agency.
I really appreciate the collaboration and professionalism from our team and working with the marketing team.
This is our brand, okay?
It was a really amazing opportunity, and it was great working with marketers. I think like it really expanded my knowledge of marketing as well.
Working with Nicole was really, really amazing, and it was really making sure that when we ask, it's fully transparent what exactly we mean when we're asking something. And so I feel like that's something that's real world, and we can apply that as soon as we get out.
I think it's a long-standing friendship, and most importantly, I am happy to write any recommendation for you at any time.
I'm so glad to hear about professionalism, how kind and gracious they were with one another. Marie and myself, we are very, very happy. When we first started 5 years ago, we thought about how can we partner and do something that students are going to remember for years to come.
Well, as owners of Australian Shepherds, Coach Thomason and I are watching these dogs here at halftime chase frisbees on the floor of the Spanos Center. The Pardini Stunt Dogs, and they are a local fixture and perform at a lot of events here around town. Great folks, and what they do is they take dogs from local animal shelters that have a lot of high energy. And I think the one that we see out there now, the one that just went out there, Coach, his name is Crazy Confetti. That's the name of the dog out there, and they chase frisbees. They do a great job. But here we are at halftime at the Spanos Center. Zach Bayruti, Coach Bob Thomason. Our score at intermission, BYU 36 and Pacific 23. Coach, we talked about it going into the break for BYU having started this game in an 8-1 hole and having turned the ball over 11 times in the first half. For them to be up 13 is quite something.
Yeah, they're running good offense. They're getting the ball inside. They're making good plays. But when they get stagnant, they toss them and turn the ball over. And the Tigers haven't been able to take advantage of that. And the Tigers sometimes have shot the ball in one or two passes in the offense, and they haven't really got into a good sync offensively. Now, they have played 13 guys this half, so a lot of guys haven't played a lot of minutes, but they just got to shoot better, get the ball inside better, and they're going to have to play a little better defense than they played this half.
What's it going to take for Pacific's offense to get some kind of a rhythm to it? I mean, I feel like it's just basically a lot of shots from distance. It's a lot of shots on a step back. I mean, you know, there hasn't really been an offensive set that you've sat back and gone, wow.
Boone's a good three-point shooter, so they got to use him to space the offense, and Luke. And Beard has had no impact on this game, but I thought he's been playing great the last few games, but he didn't play a lot tonight. But then, you know, Blake can really drive the ball. So if you get Blake and those two guys spacing the court, the point guard can penetrate and shoot, and then you're going to be able to be a little more creative in what you do. But the Tigers have to score some points. I mean, they were ahead 8-1, and they only scored 15 points the last 15 minutes of the game.
Yeah, that's quite something. Well, let's take it through the numbers, and we'll start with the Tigers. Pacific had three scores leading the way with 6 apiece. Keelan Boone, as the pups are heading off the floor now.
You know, my dog is pretty well trained too. You know, when I say treat, he'll come. That's about the only thing they'll do.
Those dogs want to come up and say hi to us, Coach. For the Tigers, 6 points for Keelan Boone on 2 of 5. He was 1 of 2 from beyond the arc, and a 1 of 1 from the free throw line. 6 points for Luke Avdalovic. And hey, look, when Luke is getting his shot off, it's a good thing, but I mean, it's always under duress, and maybe they got to try and find
he had a couple
more ways
good looking threes today, but they got to get more of them. Set screens for him, penetrate at him. I mean, he should be shooting 8, 9, 10 threes a game. And he's working hard to get open, and he does space it. That's why you can drive it his side, because then they can't help. If they help, they'll kick it out to him. So they got to get better at that stuff. They just haven't had any consistency among their offense. You know, Luke's done okay. Blake's done okay. Well, where else is the help? You know?
6 points as well for Nick Blake, and you mentioned, Blake driving, especially to his left hand, is good. He had a couple of impressive drives, 2 of 5 from the floor, 2 of 3 from the line, and after that, 3 points for Jalen Brown, who's 1 of 2 from the floor, 2 points for Greg Outlaw, who's 0 of 2. He's 2 of 2 from the line. Freeman, no points. Donovan Williams, no points. Denson, Beard, Ivy Curry, Martindale, Richards, who was on the floor for only 37 seconds, but nonetheless, no points. The Tigers need more contributors. They're 7 of 29 from the floor, 24%, 4 of 16 from 3, and 5 of 8 from the line, so it's dreadful everywhere.
Yeah, you can't even compete with numbers like that. And BYU's sitting here going, they're shooting 42%, and they had 11 turnovers, and they're up 13. They're going like, guys, let's clean it up. If I was them, I'd be cleaning that stuff up because they can't come out and play the same way the second half.
Yeah.
The Tigers play a good half, they can get back in this game.
For BYU, they were led by Spencer Johnson, who led all scorers with 10 points. Johnson, 10 points on 3 of 7. He was 2 of 3 from beyond the arc and 2 of 2 from the free throw line. 9 points for Jackson Robinson on 3 of 5. He was 2 of 4 from beyond the arc, 1 of 1 from the free throw line. 6 points for Fassini Traore on 1 of 2. Traore made his free throws, all 4 of them. He was 4 of 4 from the stripe. 4 points for Rudy Williams on 2 of 4. 3 points apiece for Noah Waterman on 1 of 3. He was 1 of 1 from beyond the arc. And then Richie Saunders, 3 points, 1 of 4 from the floor, 1 of 2 from beyond the arc. And 1 point for Dallin Hall, who was 1 of 2 from the free throw line. BYU, as Coach mentioned, 42% from the floor, 60% from the area beyond the arc, 6 of 10 from three-point land for BYU, and from the line they were 8 of 9, 89%. Turnovers, the Tigers turned the ball over only 5 times. That's good. BYU had only 5 points off of turnovers. BYU turned the ball over 11 times. Tigers generated 10 of their 23 points off of BYU turnovers. Points in the paint, BYU 8, Pacific 6, second chance points, BYU 3, Pacific 2. BYU had 10 fast break points, Tigers only 3, and the BYU bench outscoring the Tiger bench 17 to 9. There were 2 ties, 3 lead changes. BYU ended up leading for 13 and a half minutes in that half, and Pacific led for 4 minutes in that half. And Coach, this has always been an area of concern, but BYU 26 rebounds, Pacific 14, and I know it's because Pacific's missing a lot of shots.
Yeah, they're only down 2 in the offensive rebound, 6 to 4, but they're missing so many more shots than they are, so they're going to have more opportunities to rebound. So it's about the shooting percentage, when Pacific is shooting around 40, 42% a lot of those games, that's not good enough to win in this conference. You're going to have to learn how to shoot 46%. The Pacific had a couple 46% or even 50% shooting in the last couple games, and that gives you a chance because they don't create that much with their rebounding. They don't create with their steals that much, and they don't have that many low post scorer, and so you have to play solid from beginning to end, and everybody's got to contribute. But every night there's something different with this team. One guy does this, one guy does that, one guy does that. But what do you have that you can count on that you can go do it every night?
Well, we'll see how the Tigers respond as the second half is coming up in 3 minutes. That's when we will be back to start half number 2. Again, our score in the first half, the end of half number 1. BYU 36, Pacific 23, and Coach T and I are back to start the second half next on Fox Sports AM 1280, the iHeartRadio app, and the WCC network.
Hi, I'm Samantha and I'm a graduate student at the University of the Pacific. Today, I want to give you a campus tour of UOP. Let's go! First, we have DeRosa University Center. The UC is a great place to grab a bite to eat, study, or hang out with friends. You can also buy all of your UOP gear at the bookstore right next to the UC. There's a big lawn in front of the UC, perfect for tanning, playing frisbee, or bringing your dog out for a walk. The Bond Student Fitness Center has everything you need to work out, including a rock tower, student personal trainers, and a Tiger X Group fitness program. Now let's check out our athletic facilities. This is the Alex G. Spano Center, where we host our basketball games. I would show you inside, but the doors are locked, so let's move on to the rest of our athletic facilities. Overall, the University of the Pacific is a gorgeous campus. There are many places to walk around, take pictures, or relax with friends. If you ever get the chance, grab a breakfast burrito from this food truck. I promise it's worth it. And let's not forget Trail Coffee. They have delicious, affordable coffee, and you have to try their coffee milkshake. Oh, and they're dog friendly. I hope you enjoyed my tour of the University of the Pacific. Thanks for watching.
All right, we are ready to start the second half here at the Spano Center. Zach Bay, Rudy, Bob Thomas, and the Pacific Tigers and BYU Cougars from Stockton. BYU a 13-point lead, 36-23. And the Tigers have the ball to start the half, and they move from our left to our right here in half number 2. As Mo Odom is in the high front court looking to his left, gives to Outlaw. And Greg Outlaw is going to give it back to Keelan Boone, left corner for 2, and it's good. David Hall said his foot was on the line.
He did a really good job of slipping that screen. BYU got hung up. They should switch out onto him. Why would you leave him open? You know?
Tigers, or the Cougars now moving from our right to our left, and Fusini Traore traveled. He was near the left elbow, and Traore trying to figure out a place to go, and ended up dragging his pivot foot. So the Tigers get a bucket. The Cougars turn it over for the 12th time in this game. And that's the way the second half starts. So we'll see if the Tigers can build on some early momentum here in the second half. 36-25 BYU. Odom moving to his right, gives to Judson Martindale, drives left of the lane, shovels across the way to Boone, who does all the things he do and gets bumped off his spot, no whistle. Tried to scoop it up. And Leonard Perry incensed as Waterman's going to drive left of the lane, and he's going to get fouled as he knocks a camera person back into the Tiger deck.
That's a bad call. Non-call right there.
I didn't see they signaled for this foul on Pacific. I'm not sure who they got for that foul down there, or I guess they said it was Judson Martindale. As now a 3 is going to be missed by Jackson Robinson. The rebound taken by the Tigers. And Odom into the front court. Odom to Keelan Boone. And Boone to Martindale on the left wing. Martindale drives toward the baseline, kicks it out to Avdalovic, who tries to. It's knocked away, stolen by Robinson. Long pass ahead to Waterman. Euro step goes up, gets blocked from behind by Keelan Boone. They're going to say Boone got him. And Robinson, or rather a Waterman, I should say, is going to get to the line here for BYU. So Waterman is at the line. Leonard Perry's still really upset about that no call a moment ago, as a free throw is no good. First one for Waterman, who's now 7 of 16 this season from the line. Second one is up, and that rattles in. 37-25 BYU with 18:45 and counting to go here in the second half. BYU leading by 12. Odom is going to stop right of the lane, give it out to Martindale, left wing for 3, and that's too strong, and a rebound taken by Dallin Hall. Long rebound popped out to him, now to Gideon George, back to Hall. Fake on a 3, he's going to drive right of the lane, stop, give it out to George on the left wing. George dribbling to his right. And they're going to say 3-second violation here on BYU.
When was the last time you saw 2 3-second violations?
I was just about to say, it's been a long time since I've seen 2.
I think I was coaching. Probably 10 years ago.
It may have been. It really may have been. So Keelan Boone will check out for the Tigers.
We know the rest can count to 2.5, right?
We do. Martindale, Odom, Denson, Outlaw, and Avdalovich on the floor here for Pacific. As on the left wing, it's Odom to Martindale. Martindale crosses over, gives it back to Mo on the left wing. Mo drives to the free throw line, puts it up, and it's around the rim and out. The rebound was gathered by Traore for a moment. He lost it, but then loose ball gathered back in by Jackson Robinson. So BYU does get that defensive rebound. As Robinson's going to lob it to Traore, short left corner. Traore holding the ball over his head. Traore with that big wingspan is going to give it out to Dallin Hall. And Hall puts the ball on the floor to his right, now moves to his left. Kicks it near corner to Gideon George. Baseline left, spins it out to Hall on the left wing. Head fake on a three, dribbles to his right, crosses to his left. Hall takes the three and sinks it.
It seemed like that was a tougher shot than one he had.
BYU 40 and Pacific 25, 17:36 and counting to go here in regulation. Odom will give a pass near corner to Avdalovich, now to Martindale on the near wing. Martindale up top to Outlaw. Outlaw looking to his right. And Avdalovich trying to fight his way to the ball. And the foul is going to be on Dallin Hall. He was trying to grab Avdalovich.
Odom's had about 4 shots that went in and out tonight. You know, if a couple of them went in, they'd probably all be going in.
Exactly, yep. When one's dropping like that, they're all dropping. By the way, Sam Freeman has some crutches off to our right. I'm not sure if he's going to return. We'll talk to CP in the media timeout if we can, as Odom dribbles to his left. Gives to Martindale. Martindale to Avdalovich near wing. Avdalovich drives, kicks it out near side to Denson, driving baseline. Denson, a reverse layup will not go. And a rebound taken by Traore. And he will give to Dallin Hall across the way to Waterman. Waterman on the right wing will leave it for Jackson Robinson for 3, and that is going to bounce out. The rebound taken by Denson. To Odom up the near sideline, lobs to the right wing to Martindale. Martindale's going to take the 3 and make the 3.
Big shot there for the Tigers.
So 40-28, the Tigers trail by 12 with 16:44 and counting to go here in the second half. Hall to George on the near wing. Gideon George holding over his head, gives to his right to Waterman. Waterman back to George on the left wing. George, jab fake to his right, gives it left of the lane to Traore. Lower left block, Traore going to work down there. Traore up with his right hand, no good. The rebound tipped by George, but controlled by Odom and the Tigers. Odom weaving into the front court, trying to pass it down low to Outlaw. Outlaw somehow got it off a deflection out to Avdalovich for 3. It's no good, and Traore will gather in the rebound.
It was not a great pass. Odom made a good play just to save it.
Hall on the left wing to Traore up top. Traore will dribble to his left and stop. Give it to Gideon George. George on the left wing, a shot fake. George holds over his head, gives up top to Waterman. Waterman dribbles one time, kicks to his right to Robinson. Robinson dribbling to his left. At the top of the circle, still with the dribble. Shimmies, moves to his left. Down left of the lane, stops. Trying to feed it down low to Waterman. Picked off by Avdalovich. Ahead to Odom. Odom to a trailer. That's Denson to the bucket. Puts it up, no, but he does get fouled. And he'll be going to the line when we come back. Well, Cam Denson, the foul is going to be on Jackson Robinson.
I don't think I've ever seen a poor passing BYU team as this one. And when you said Freeman was on crutches, you said you might come back. Yeah. Well, if he's touching a crutch, he's not coming back.
He's got. I didn't see him like limping on the crutch. He's got ice on the bottom of his foot, and he's using a crutch to move around when he does. So again, you're right, Coach. I doubt he is, but
if I had a player that was touching a crutch, he wouldn't go back in.
I wanted to hear it from CP first, so we'll see if we can check when we come back. Timeout on the floor is BYU 40, Pacific 28. We're back after this on Fox Sports AM 1280 and the WCC network.
Hello everyone, my name is Silas Shah. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm currently a sophomore at the University of the Pacific, majoring in business administration. And welcome to Grace Cavell Hall. With over 175 rooms, Grace Cavell Hall is the biggest residential hall on Pacific's campus. Living on campus is one big part of what makes Pacific feel like home. It helps you fit into the campus community right away. The rooms start as a blank canvas, but once you bring your belongings, your bedding, your art, it is an amazing opportunity for you to show your personality. Quick tip, I recommend you bring a refrigerator so you can have your snacks on hand.
Well, tough news for the Tigers as we are back from the under-16 media timeout. 15:40 to go in the second half. BYU 40, Pacific 28. Sam Freeman is out, has some plantar fascia issues on his foot as we suspected, but more tough news, Donovan Williams is also out for the remainder of the game with a heel contusion. So both Freeman and Williams are out for the remainder of the game for Pacific. Denson's first free throw is going to bank off and out. So no good for Cam Denson on the first free throw.
More room for some of these other players to play. I mean, like Blake's one of the leading scorers. He hasn't played this half, I don't think yet, has he?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, so, you know, get those guys out there.
Second one is no good. The rebound taken by Outlaw. An Outlaw between three blue jerseys, and they're going to say that BYU fouled him. The foul is going to be on Noah Waterman. So great job there by Outlaw, the offensive rebound. That is a third team foul on BYU, and with that, Richie Saunders will check in and Noah Waterman will check out. So baseline right, Odom will inbound to Martindale, back to Odom. Odom moving toward the far left sideline. Odom will cut it to his right. Odom drives right of the lane, spins it back, and now moves to his left. Odom trying to lob it to Outlaw, but a misconnection, and BYU picks it off. A 2-on-1, and it's Saunders going to take it himself and get fouled by Judson Martindale. Saunders had a flanker off to his left, but he took it himself, and Martindale gives the foul. That will get Saunders to the free throw line, where he is 8 of 16 this season from the stripe. This will be Saunders' first free throw in this game. BYU 9 of 11 from the line. First one for Saunders is up and good. Second one is up and short, and a rebound taken by Robinson, who puts it back up. No, gets his own miss, and Robinson then lost it baseline right, but gets it back. And another opportunity here for BYU off the rebound on the missed free throw. Hall on the right wing. Hall is going to take a three and make it right in front of the official, David Hall. Dallin Hall sinks a three from the far right sideline. 44-28, BYU widens the lead. Under 15 to go here in the second half. Outlaw dribbling to his left, free throw line jumper is going to rattle in.
And that hit the side of the rim, hit the backboard, came out, then went in.
Every which way, but it pinballed through for Greg Outlaw. 44-30, BYU moving to his right. Robinson as he penetrates. Robinson puts it off the glass and in. You have a good angle there as Robinson able to get to the cup. And BYU a 16-point lead. It's 46-30 BYU. The score is wrong again. Should be 46-30 on the in-house scoreboard. As up top, it is Denson. And Denson to Odom. Odom to the right wing to Martindale. Back to Odom. Odom tags his head with his right hand. That's a silent play call. The shot clock winding down. Odom stops, going to try and get it down low to Denson. It's going to be deflected out of bounds back to the Tigers with 3 seconds on the shot.
Odom's had a tough time tonight. He's 0 for 4. And, you know, he hasn't been able to make passes. He's played a lot at the point guard tonight, but he's struggled. But it's his first start of his career, I think.
Yeah, I think so. For Odom, it is the first start, coach, confirmed of his career. He had not started a game prior to this. Baseline right, Blake will inbound to Outlaw, and Outlaw is going to go up and get swatted by Rudy Williams. A loose ball, Outlaw gets it back, but a shot clock violation, and there's only 3 seconds on the timer. So shot clock violation. And BYU will take it over and move from our right to our left. 46-30 BYU. As moving to his left is Rudy Williams. Williams up top to Spencer Johnson. Johnson trying to get down low, and he does, and he's going to turn around and put it up and in. Spencer Johnson just snuck toward the lower left block and
he's
turn
a good
around.
Real player, real smart player.
knew exactly where he was in relation to the goal, and a nice touch there on that shot. BYU now with an 18-point lead as Martindale drives baseline right, puts it up, leaves it short.
That could have been a foul there. I mean, there was contact on that shot.
Saunders the rebound to Williams on the left wing, and Williams to Robinson. He'll take a three, and it's off to the left. Rebound is knocked around, controlled by Greg Outlaw. And Outlaw to Denson, and Denson's going to be fouled by Rudy Williams, who was at midcourt. Williams kind of bumped him with the body, although Williams had his hands in the air. They call him for the body bump. Jalen Brown will check in. Luka Vdalovic will check out here for Pacific. So Outlaw inbounds to Blake. Blake dribbles to his left. Blake on the left wing stops, gives it to Denson. Denson up top to Outlaw. Outlaw will start to dribble to his right. Now drive right of the lane, go up and get fouled by Saunders. Saunders was going to block the shot, but he commits the foul.
It's lucky he did, because there's no way he's making that shot.
So Outlaw is at the line. Free throw is up and too strong for Outlaw. Gideon George checks back in for the Cougars, and Richie Saunders will check out. So second one for Outlaw as he spins the ball in his hand, is up, and it is good. 48-31 BYU, and Keelan Boone checks in for Greg Outlaw, who checks out. Atiki Ali-Atiki will inbound to Rudy Williams, also Gideon George, Jackson Robinson, and Spencer Johnson out there for the Cougars. Robinson to Johnson, Johnson up top to Williams. Williams got to stop the dribble, give to Johnson on the left wing, where he drives toward baseline left, spins it back out to Williams, drives with the right hand into the paint, stops, gives it out to Johnson left wing, shot fake, step to his left, takes the three, it is short. And the rebound is taken by Ali-Atiki, but I think he went over the back to get it, and he did. That's the call. So an over the back foul called on Atiki Ali-Atiki.
Foul on BYU number 4, Atiki Ali-Atiki. Good penetration and kick out, and a nice shot fake, create a wide open shot. He had a wide open shot, but just didn't hit it.
Left to our right, Blake into the front court. And to Blake. Will lob it to his right to Keelan Boone. Boone from the right wing hands it back to Nick. Blake drives toward the baseline, goes airborne, kicks it out left wing to Jalen Brown for three. It's no good, but he was undercut and is going to be, they're going to say that Brown kicked his foot out. They're going to say Jalen Brown kicked his foot out and initiated the contact with Spencer Johnson. I thought they were going to get Johnson for a foul, but they're going to say Brown kicked his foot out.
If he did, that's a good call. I couldn't see it. Here's the replay right here. I don't know about it.
Does it need a whistle? I think that's just a no call. I mean, in my mind, Leonard Perry was right in front of us, so we couldn't really see in real time. But I don't know, on the replay, it's like both guys went to the ground. I don't know. As Hall drives baseline and gives it out toward the far corner to Jackson Robinson. Robinson to his left, give it right of the lane to Ali-Atiki. Ali-Atiki ball on the floor, dribbles in one time, putting up the ball and getting it through with his left hand. Ali-Atiki was faking every which way. Finally found some daylight and put it through. 50-31, BYU by 19. As Denson spins, gonna get blocked by Ali-Atiki, and the loose ball taken by Gideon George. And the pass toward the near sideline is airborne.
It's hard to believe they're up this much when they pass the ball.
Jackson Robinson needed to be 10 feet tall, if that, to catch that. And it's another turnover for BYU, but despite the bevy of BYU turnovers, they are in control right now here at the Spano Center as we're at the under-12 media timeout with 11:46 to go. In regulation, the BYU Cougars 50 and the Pacific Tigers 31. And we are back after this on Fox Sports AM 1280, the iHeartRadio app, and the WCC network.
Hello everyone, my name is Silas Shah and I'm currently a sophomore at the University of the Pacific majoring in Business Administration. And right behind me is the Morris Chapel. Let's go check it out. Morris Chapel is a multi-faith place for all students to worship, pray, and meditate. The stained glass windows were donated by a church in San Francisco in the 1930s. The chapel was designed around these windows. Moore's Chapel is one of the most popular places for weddings around the area. Many of our alumni come back to get married here. The meditation room is a private setting for students of all faiths to meditate, do yoga, or pray.
.11:46 to go in the second half. It's BYU 50 and Pacific 31. Still time in this game, obviously, a lot of it, but things are going to have to start rolling the Tigers' way here soon, Coach.
Well, they just can't score the ball. You know what I mean? They just don't have enough scoring. It's getting open shots. I just don't see how they're going to score enough points to catch them, you know.
Martindale up top to Jalen Brown. Brown on the right wing to Keelan Boone. Boone dribbles one time to his right. He'll take a three, and it's short. And the rebound is going to be taken by Mekhi Richards, who got himself in the scrum to get it. Now Nick Blake driving in through two defenders, throws it toward the tin. And between two defenders did not get a whistle, nor did he get the ball above the cylinder. And now driving baseline right is Gideon George. Gives it out to Williams for three. That's around the rim and out. The rebound taken by Richards.
That's a tough call.
And they're going to call off a loose ball foul on Mekhi Richards.
Push off of the arm. The other guy is on your back. You should be able to clear the guy out a little when they're coming over your back. That had no effect on the game right there. Just let that guy rebound and play on.
So baseline left, it'll be inbounded by Dallin Hall, and Hall inbounds to Jackson Robinson. The ball was knocked away by Judson Martindale out of bounds on the near sideline. So 1 second came off the timer. The inbound to Robinson on the left wing. Robinson dribbles to his right, and Robinson's now going to drive right of the lane. Stop, lost a handle on it, and gets it back, gives it out to Hall with 10 to shoot. Hall on the right wing. Hall off a screen, dribbles to his left, gives it to his right to Robinson, has to launch at three. The shot clock winding down, and he banks it home.
Oh, my goodness sake. I never missed a shot that bad that would bank in.
53-31, BYU now in complete command by 22 as Blake's going to drive toward the bucket, put it up, no, and the rebound taken by BYU's Ali Atiki to Williams, and now to Robinson, right wing for three, and that is too strong, and the rebound taken by Jalen Brown, and Brown gives to Nick Blake, and to Blake from our left to our right into the front court. Blake at the point with the 10:25 and counting to go in regulation, gives to Brown on the right wing. Brown dribbles to his right, and Brown will lob it back out to Boone, and Boone gives to Blake on the left wing. Blake stops and gives to Keelan left of the lane. Boone's going to turn around and shoot at the shot clock winding down, and that shot missed bad. Was too strong, and the rebound taken by BYU, taken by Rudy Williams in the front court. Accelerates to the bucket and scoops it up and in.
Sometimes you hesitate and the defense stands up a little and you go right around them.
So Williams just accelerated right to the bucket, and it's 55-31. BYU now starting to run away with it, and now time is called by Pacific. With 9:49 to go, this is the first bench timeout of the second half. It'll stretch, become the full media timeout, and Coach Thompson and I will take it as well. So with 9:49 to go in the second half, it's BYU 55 and Pacific 31. We're back after this on Fox Sports AM 1280, the iHeartRadio app, and the WCC network.
Hi, I'm Calvin Boasing. I'm a junior pre-farm student. This is the Don and Karen DeRosa University Center, and it's where we all come to hang out. So let's go and check it out. So this is the dining hall. It's the main place to get food on campus. This is the marketplace, where they serve a wide variety of food. My personal favorites are the burritos and sandwiches. Upstairs is the lair, another place to get food, and it's open late at night. You can play pool here, and there's live entertainment at the Brickyard stage. If you're looking for something to do on the weekend, there's always something happening at the lair.
.49 to go in the second half. Zach Rudy, Bob Thomas, glad to have you with us. Been a tough one here for the Tigers, despite how it started. Pacific got out to an 8-1 lead in this game, but they were unable to capitalize on a lot of BYU turnovers in the first half. They trailed by 13 at halftime, and right now BYU is in complete control, leading by 24 with 9:49 to go here in the second half. From the far sideline, Martindale will inbound to Tyler Beard. Beard to Avdalovich, back to Beard on the right wing. We haven't seen Beard a ton in this game. Beard has only played for 4.5 minutes as Boone spins his way to the bucket and puts it off the glass and in. It's 55-33 BYU, and now on the right wing, it's Gideon George. Had the ball knocked away, but Dallin Hall gets it back, and Hall is going to drive now, kick it out to Robinson. And Robinson will hand it off to Williams in the high front court. Williams weaving left now, back to his right. Stops, gives to the left wing to Robinson. Robinson trying to skip it across the way, and it's deflected and stolen by Martindale. Martindale head up into the front court, gives to Keelan Boone, who fumbled on the near wing, but gets it back. Boone gets it down low to Makai Richards, lower right block. Richards is back to the hoop, trying to give it out, and it's knocked away by Gideon George out of bounds on the far sideline. And they're going to say Tiger was the last hand to touch it. Again, Leonard Perry stands right in front of us, so I'm not sure who it was to touch it last for Pacific. I thought it went out of bounds off of Gideon George's deflection, but apparently someone in a white jersey touched it last. So under 9 minutes to go here in the second half, 55-33 BYU as Hall up top to Williams. Williams moving to his left, stops, gives it to his right to Robinson for three, and that is pure. Jackson Robinson, the Arkansas transfer, tickles the twine to make it 58-33 BYU, 8:37 and counting to go here in regulation as Boone gives it to the far side to Martindale. Martindale trying to get it up top to Boone. He does. Dangerous pass now near corner to Beard. Passed up the shot, gets it down low to Keelan, who puts it up with the right hand and gets it to go.
Pass by Beard. Nice cut, nice finish.
Driving baseline right is Gideon George, and George will keep it along the baseline. I'll give it to Robinson up top, behind the back dribble to George up top. George dribbles one time inside the arc, takes it, misses short, gets his own miss, puts it up, leaves that short, but gets fouled. And there was nobody contesting that rebound there off that missed shot for Gideon George.
No, they're just doing what they want to do right now.
Makai Richards, the guilty party on the foul. So Gideon George going to the line. George, a 69% free throw shooter. And for Gideon George, this will be his first free throw of the night. And again, this is a two-shot foul. First one is up and good. Second one is up and good. So George makes them both, and it is 60-35 BYU as Beard is going to throw it up toward the glass on a drive, does not get that to go, and BYU has the miss. And Rudy Williams on the right wing dribbles to his left. Williams knifing his way toward the paint, gives it near corner to George, who drives baseline, and George may have stepped on the end line, and no, he traveled is the call. So no matter how you slice it, it's a turnover. The Tigers will get it back, but trailing by a bunch when we come back after this timeout on the floor. With 7:49 to go in the second half, it's a 25-point lead for the BYU Cougars. BYU 60, Pacific 35. We're back after this on Fox Sports AM 1280, the iHeartRadio app, and the WCC network.
Welcome to the College of the Pacific, where the arts and sciences intersect. I'm Professor Sharmila King, Chair of the Economics Department and the Faye and Alex Spanos Award for Distinguished Teaching. Let me show you around. COP is the liberal arts core of the university, offering courses in the humanities, the fine and performing arts, the social sciences, and the natural sciences. The college champions experiential learning through undergraduate research. You'll have many opportunities for hands-on learning through creative activity, fieldwork, internships, and study abroad. Most of our classes are small, so we're going to get to know each other. I'll see you around campus.
.49 to go in the second half. Zach Bay, Rudy, Bob Thomason, glad to have you with us. 60-35, BYU with the lead. And from our left to our right, into the front court goes Tyler Beard, hands to Keelan Boone, who shovels to Greg Outlaw. Outlaw to Beard, moving to his right. Beard drives right of the lane, and Beard gets to the cup, scoops it up, can't get it to go, but does get to the line.
I think he should have went on this side of the basket.
I do too.
He thought there was a block, and he stumbled last time. He wanted to pass the ball, and he got caught in between. That's why you got to slow down when you get in the basket so you can take your time.
So Beard will earn them from the line, and it does not get the first one, though. So Beard leaves the first one short. Second one up, and that's short. So Beard comes up empty, and the rebound taken by Noah Waterman. And now in the hands of Dallin Hall, and Hall from our right to our left into the front court. Leaves it for Rudy Williams. Williams moving toward the near wing. Williams, guarded by Outlaw, will give it up top to Hall, and now back to Williams. Williams holding over his head, will skip it far side to Waterman. Waterman to Hall near midcourt. Hall dribbling to his left. Hall inside the left wing will kick it out far side to Gideon George for three. That's no good. Traore extends those big arms, gets the rebound on the baseline left. And now going to work on Makai Richards, and Traore spun baseline. And I think Richards knocked the ball away out of bounds, so it'll stay with BYU. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Baseline right. Dallin Hall will inbound, and Hall will lob it to Waterman. Waterman holding up top, will get it down low to Traore. Traore swarmed by Richards, gives it out near corner. Shot fake on a three. Now Williams drives in and goes toward the bucket, and he got airborne, and he lost the ball. And Richards kind of met him up top, but there was no whistle. I think a good no call there. So under 7 minutes to go here in the second half. It's BYU 60 and Pacific 35. Outlaw on the right wing. And Outlaw skipping to his right. Outlaw now cuts it back to his left, spins in the paint. Nice move, puts it off the glass and in. Big time move there by Greg Outlaw with that
was
spin.
a good move, but you make one pass in the offense and dribble, then you go, hope it works out. Not a lot of team passing and movement on that.
Williams moving to his left. Gives it up top to Hall, and Hall dribbles off a Traore screen to his right. Now back to his left. Hall drives left of the lane, gives to Williams. Williams drives left of the lane, puts it up, can't get that to go. Tough angle, the rebound taken by Tyler Beard. Into the front court to Avdalovic, left wing, in transition for three, and that's good. I tell you, Luka Avdalovic is just an assassin. The best percentage in the country as of a few days ago from beyond the arc.
Amazing.
On the right wing, it's Gideon George for three, and that's going to be short. The rebound taken by Avdalovic. Tigers trailing by 20 with 5:53 and counting to go here in the second half. Avdalovic launches again, and it's too strong. Rebound taken by Keelan Boone, and then he's sandwiched between a couple of royal blue jerseys, and the foul is going to be on Dallin Hall. Well, at this point, you'll take any Luka Avdalovic shot that he can get. I mean, that's pretty much what you're left with to try and get you back in this thing with 5:47 to go.
Yeah, you got to be quick hitting, attack the basket, try to get to the foul line. You shoot one, one more one-on-one, two more one-on-ones.
Tigers in this game are, the free throw is up and no good for Keelan Boone. The front of the 1-and-1 misses. Tigers for the game are 5 of 20. Actually, I believe now 6 of 21 from beyond the arc. Hall moving to his left, and Hall will stop, give it to Williams on the left wing. Williams holds the ball over his head, and Williams shimmies off a screen, dribbles to his right, gives it out right wing to Hall. Hall dribbling to his left, spins in the paint, scoops it up off the glass. No, tough shot there for Hall, and the rebound taken by Pacific. Beard chugging into the front court, dribbled off his foot, and it should be BYU ball unless someone got another look. And they're going to say the ball's going to stay with the Tigers.
That to me is a call when you're 20 down and you give it to him. I thought he kicked the ball out of bounds.
I thought he dribbled off his foot. I thought we had a pretty good look at it, but nonetheless, Ryan Holmes said that he saw it better.
About better than the 3 rest guys out there, right?
Baseline right, Outlaw to Boone, now right of the lane. Boone goes toward the bucket, puts it up and in, and he's going to go to the line. So count the basket. The foul is going to be on Atiki Aliatiki. And Keelan Boone a chance to complete a 3-point play. It's BYU 60 and Pacific 42. And Saunders will check in, and Hall will check out for BYU. Around the WCC, St. Mary's leading San Diego 65 to 43. That game with about 7.5 minutes to go. LMU is all over Portland. That's the stunner of the night, 72 to 50. Free throw is up and good, so Keelan completes a 3-point play. BYU 60, Pacific 43, 5:06 and counting to go here in the second half as Waterman on the right wing will hand it off to Spencer Johnson. Johnson to Williams. Williams shimmies, moves to his right, kicks it back to Johnson on the left wing. Johnson drives toward the baseline. He's back to the hoop now. Gives it in the lane to a cutter, and that's Saunders. Shot fake by Saunders, give it out to Johnson, and now to Williams up top. Williams trying to weave his way through defenders, and there's going to be a grab here called on Pacific. It's going to be 1-and-1 here for BYU. The foul is going to be on Outlaw. That is the 7th team foul. Free throw is up and around the rim and in, so Williams will get another. Rudy Williams with the 7 points now. Waterman is out. Gideon George is back on the floor for BYU. Second one is up and good. So 62-43 BYU, 4:42 and counting to go in the second half as on the far side, Beard to Keelan Boone. Boone will dribble to his left, hand it off to Beard. Beard is going to take a step back 3, and that is short, and the long rebound comes toward the Tiger bench and out of bounds off that missed shot. So George inbounds to Rudy Williams, and from our right to our left, Williams takes it across center court. Williams gives to Spencer Johnson. Johnson stops, will give it to Aliatiki to his left. Aliatiki out to the right wing to Williams. Williams will backpedal with the dribble now, drive, kick it near corner. This is a 3 if it goes, and it does, and that's Spencer Johnson. Spencer Johnson has had a great game back from injury. 15 points now for Johnson. And a timeout called by Pacific with 4 minutes to go. This is going to become the under 4 media timeout. So we will take it as well. 4 minutes to go here in this one. It's BYU 65, Pacific 43. We're back after this on Fox Sports AM 1280, the iHeartRadio app, and the WCC network.
Chase Chevrolet has been winning California business
since 1944.
Get a little Stocktonian in you.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Jamie, and we're owners of Smitty's Wings and Things here in Stockton.
As a former pro football player, Steve Smith knows about winning.
Football and business is about teamwork.
When they needed a new Tahoe for their business, a winning drive from the team at Chase Chevrolet was just a few clicks away.
And then delivered our car the next day, so it was very easy. I would do it again.
There's no competition.
Chase Chevrolet.
Buy into it.
4 minutes to go in this one. BYU 65, Pacific 43. Coach, in all likelihood, the Tigers are going to lose this game probably by double digits, but start talking about where you go from here for the Tigers. It's a quick turnaround now. It's a 2 o'clock game here on Saturday.
That's the advantage of the Tigers because Loyola's got to fly from Portland, which flying is really hard nowadays, and get down here and get for a 2 o'clock game. So the advantage with the Tigers, but they're going to have to play better offense than they play today.
Yeah, 2 o'clock on Saturday. Coach and I will have the pregame at 1:45 on Fox Sports AM 1280 and the WCC network. As it's 65-43 BYU, and now a live ball turnover. Steal for Gideon George, and George going to go right to the bucket, lay it off the glass and in. 67-43 BYU with 3:45 to go in this one. And if you're the Tigers now, the time can't come off fast enough. As Outlaw up top is going to dribble to his right, drive right of the lane, put it up, and get fouled by Ali Atiki, who is going for a big-time swat. So Outlaw's going to go to the line and shoot a pair. Greg Outlaw tonight has logged 15 minutes, has 7 points. He's 3 of 4 from the line. This one is up and no good.
He's hit the back rim twice on his misses. You got to get over that front rim. People on the tendency to shoot a little long. So if you go over the front rim and you shoot a little long, you can still make it. When you shoot long, you're hitting that back rim, you have no chance.
Outlaw's second one is no good. That one spit back out by the rim.
Hit the back rim, though. You can't hit that back rim and make free throws.
67-43 BYU, 3:28 and counting to go in this one. Saunders will hand it to Williams near midcourt. And Williams is going to give an alley-oop pass to Atiki Ali Atiki. And an exclamation point here for BYU.
I think the Tigers turned the ball over.
And then the Tigers, I think, went over and back.
For the Tigers. They just got to kind of regroup and get through this game.
The Tigers went over and back. So from baseline right, Johnson will inbound and is transferred back up top. There's going to be an offensive foul on BYU. It's going to be on Atiki Ali Atiki. His fourth personal foul. So Odom in the front court, and Odom gives to Keelan Boone. And Boone will get it to Richards. Back to Boone it goes on the right side. And Boone's going to now dribble to his right, put up a fadeaway, and knock it down.
That's a hard shot right there.
So BYU into the front court now, and Williams is near the mouth of the Power Cat. To Saunders. Saunders dribbling to his right. Saunders drives to the baseline, stops, will give it out near wing to Williams. Shot fake Williams. Williams dribbles to his right, crosses over. Outlaw lost his balance, but they're going to call a push-off here on Williams. So from our left to our right, Odom is in the front court. To Boone driving along the baseline. He tried to feed it in the lane. The ball knocked away and stolen by BYU. We're ticking toward 2 minutes to go here in this one as Saunders gives to his left to Johnson. From the left wing, he takes a three, and it's off the mark, and the rebound taken by Outlaw. Now in the hands of Odom in the high front court. And now to Outlaw. Outlaw dribbling to his right. Outlaw trying to feed it across the way to Richards, and it's knocked away and stolen by BYU.
BYU, if they don't get better taking care of the ball, they'll be lucky to take 4th or 5th in this league.
And BYU ends up turning it over. So yeah, BYU's gonna have to clean that up. Odom into the front court, and Odom moving to his right. We'll give it back to his left, to Keelan Boone on the left wing. And Odom now moving to his left. Odom back to his right with 1:24 and counting to go here in the second half. To Boone, and Boone's gonna drive it in from up top. He's swarmed by defenders, falls away, puts it up and gets it to rattle in.
That's a real hard shot, really hard shot.
So 69-47 BYU with the 1:07 and counting to go in this ball game.
1 minute remaining in regulation.
BYU just holding on to the ball now. Moving to his left is Johnson. He's going to take a three. It's wide left, and Tigers have the rebound as Odom ahead to Outlaw. Outlaw on the right wing to Odom on the near sideline. With 35 seconds to go in the game, Odom is going to cross it over, drive it toward the lower right block, feed it across the way to Makai Richards, who lays it up and in.
Very nice pass, good finish inside.
Odom had 8 assists in that game at Lamar on the 20th, with a nice one there on likely the last possession for the Tigers. As BYU into the front court, and they will just let the time come off as the shot clock is off.
They might as well take another turnover to get to 20 or something.
Yeah, I was going to say that would be 20 turnovers.
I always thought you should shoot the ball when it gets to 1, not take the turnover.
Well, they're going to just let the time expire.
Yeah.
And this one belongs to BYU after a stunning loss here last year. The BYU Cougars fell behind 8-1 to start this game and come roaring back. They had a 13-point lead at halftime, and they finish with a 20-point advantage in that point column. Our final score, BYU 69 and Pacific 49. We will step aside when we come back. Pacific Courtside Live. We'll talk to head coach Leonard Perry, and we'll give you all the numbers from this one. Numbers might be ugly from a Tiger perspective. Yet our final score tonight, the BYU Cougars 69, Pacific Tigers 49. Pacific Courtside Live is up next on Fox Sports AM 1280, the iHeartRadio app, and the WCC network.
At this moment, in Stockton, Sacramento, and San Francisco, a University of the Pacific student has made a decision to learn, live, and lead with purpose in mind. Here, it's all about moments that change lives, families, communities, economies, the world. At University of the Pacific, these moments give life purpose. They give us purpose, too. After all, we share one future. Join us, University of the Pacific.
All right, welcome back inside the Alex G. Spanos Center. Zach Beyruti, Coach Bob Thomason. Glad to have you with us, and welcome to Pacific Courtside Live. It was all BYU here tonight, except for the first few minutes. BYU 69 and Pacific 49. There's quite a lot to unpack here. BYU won this game in spite of turning the ball over 21 times, so we were short. They did have 21 turnovers in this game. We thought maybe it was 19, but 21 turnovers in this game. Tigers got out to an 8-1 lead. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better start if you're Pacific. But what started to go wrong? Like, when did this game start to kind of go off the rails in your mind?
Well, all game, they just didn't have good flow in the offense. They dribbled way too much. Lots of times they came down and they dribbled 5, 6, 7 times before they made one pass. They had too much one-on-one play tonight, and very seldom they had screens or set up screens for guys. They had no presence of. They did a little getting to the basket, but they didn't really create shots for each other, and nobody had a good shooting night except Boone had an okay one.
Was it something that BYU was doing defensively, or was it just something that the Tigers didn't scheme well offensively?
I don't think so. I think BYU just played basic man-to-man defense, and they play solid. You know, BYU, they don't get too spread out, so what they're doing is making you operate outside that 15-foot area, and that's where you have to take advantage of that. And the Tigers, Blake got a few tries early in the game, and they hit a couple threes early in the game. But after that, they just didn't have any consistent scoring for the rest of the game.
Yeah, Blake only played for 14 and a half minutes. And if you're looking at the box and wondering why Donovan Williams only played 6 minutes and 49 seconds, he was out with a heel contusion for the better part of this game. So Williams did play, but out with a heel contusion. Then Sam Freeman had some plantar fascia issues pop up, so that's why Freeman only played 9 minutes tonight. But let's delve into the numbers, and we'll start with the Tigers. Keelan Boone, 19 points, career high for him, 8 of 14 from the floor, 1 of 3 from beyond the arc, and 2 of 3 from the line. And Keelan Boone does bring a lot to the table, and he led the way with 19 points, but the only Tiger in double figures tonight. I mean, he was the only one. He didn't have any help.
I mean, and he made some tough shots. He's very creative, and he can make shots. But you know, it's hard to rely on winning.
On that,
to make hard shots. They don't get any easy shots. Yeah. And you know, then they don't capitalize on the free throw line. They go 7 for 18 from the free throw line. So it was a combination of everything offensively. Just kind of a bad night. You got to forget about it and get back and get going on for Saturday's game. You don't want to dwell too much on it.
So 19 points for Keelan Boone, and he was the Tiger in double figures, the only one. He actually led all scorers with those 19 points. And then 9 points for Luka Vdalovic on 3 of 8. He was 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. And you just wish that he could shoot a little bit more. I mean, I know, whenever he does shoot, it's like a quick release, and he knows he's going to be under duress, but you wish that he could find some shots where he could breathe for a moment, or even just some more volume you'd settle for.
Well, if you have the highest percentage three-point shooter in the country, you don't want him to shoot 6 threes. You want him to shoot 23, right? Obviously, 23 is going to be hard to get, but you want him to shoot as many as you can. So your teammates have to get to him. Guys have to screen for him. You got to run plays for him, and you got to make him an option that people have to stop, and that'll create open shots and easier shots for the rest of the team.
Greg Outlaw was in the starting lineup today. He had 7 points on 2 of 5. He was 3 of 6 from the free throw line. 6 points for Nick Blake on 2 of 7. Blake 0 of 3 from the floor, 2 of 3 from the line. And to me, Nick Blake is an enigma. I mean, he can do so much for you out there. The minutes have been limited. But is there something the Tigers can do to unlock him a little bit more? I don't know. I mean, other than play him a little bit more, I don't know.
Some nights he plays more and he does great, and some nights he doesn't. And it's kind of been the factor of this team. I mean, there's times where, Beard last game had 9 assists, at home game he had 9 assists, 11 points, and then he's a non-factor tonight. And, so they have too many non-factors in the game, and they play a lot of guys, so got a lot of guys have non-factors. It's not going to be a good situation because you don't have the continuity if you start off bad, you might not play very much, where, if you're in a rotation of 8 guys, and if you start off bad, you might get back in the game and have impact on it, so.
I was getting to that Tyler Beard nugget you just mentioned. I'll get there. Judson Martindale, 3 points on 1 of 3. He was 1 of 2 from outside. 3 points for Jaylen Brown on 1 of 2. His one made bucket was a 3. And then 2 points for Makai Richards on 1-of-1. Makai played just over 12 minutes tonight. Tyler Beard only played 10.5 minutes, and he did not score. Cam Denson did not score. He played 15.5 minutes. Donovan Williams, I mentioned he had the heel contusion and limited minutes, 6 minutes and 49 seconds, did not score. Mo Odom started this game. His first career start, did not score. Sam Freeman did not score. Jordan Ivy Curry, 7.5 minutes, did not score. There's a lot you're scratching your head about when you look at this box score.
Well, they don't get a lot of easy baskets, so it's all creative off the dribble, and so it's a situation where they have to become more pass movement and cutting more to create stuff, and that's just been a problem. And I think when teams start packing it in on them, not getting too spread out, this is going to be even more of a problem, and they have shot the three pretty well the last few games. They didn't shoot it great tonight. I mean, I was surprised they shot so poor from the free throw line. So, they have to get back, get to work, and get a better offensive execution, because they're going to need better offense to be able to compete, to have a chance to win.
No doubt. The Tigers 7 of 29 from the floor in the first half, 24%. Second half bit better, 11 of 27, 41% if you're rounding up for the game. The Tigers shot a dreadful 32%, 18 of 56. 6 of 23 from 3, 26%. 7 of 18, as Coach mentioned, from the line. I mean, against a team like BYU, shoot against most teams, that's not going to get it done for you. None of those numbers are going to get it done, and certainly was not going to be enough against this BYU team tonight. On the other side for BYU, they had a couple of players in double figures. Jackson Robinson led the way, 17 points on 6 of 13. Robinson averages just under 8 points a game, and he exploded for 17 tonight. On 6 of 13, he was 4 of 10 from beyond the arc. He also pulled down 6 rebounds. And then 15 points for Spencer Johnson. I'm sure that felt great for him, a guy that had been out since the Battle for Atlantis tournament when he injured his knee versus Butler. But 15 points on 5 of 11 for Spencer Johnson. He was 3 of 6 from beyond the arc, 2 from the line. For a player coming back, after being out for more than a month, that has to feel pretty good.
Yeah, it always does, and especially when you have a brace on. You're kind of tentative with that knee, and he's obviously a good shooter, and he's a smart player, and he fits in really nice to their rotation.
So those are the two Cougars in double figures leading the way for them. 8 points for Rudy Williams on 3 of 7. He was 2 of 2 from the line. 7 points for Dallin Hall on 2 of 4. Both of his field goals were 3-pointers. He was 1 of 2 from the free throw line. 6 points for Fousseyni Traore on 1 of 3. He was 4 of 4 from the line. Fousseyni had 7 rebounds as well. 4 points each for Noah Waterman on 1 of 3, who made a 3-pointer. 4 points for Gideon George on 1 of 4. He was 2 of 2 from the line. 4 points for Atiki Ali Atiki on 2 of 3. 4 points for Richie Saunders on 1 of 4. His made field goal was a 3, and he was 1 of 2 from the line. And those were the individual scores for BYU, who shot 42% from the floor in the first half, 11 of 26. Exact same percentage the second half, 11 of 26. So for the game, 42%, 22 of 52, and on this night it was good enough to beat the Tigers, in part because 6 for 10 from 3 in the first half, 5 of 15 from 3 in the second half. So for the game, they were 44% from 3, 11 of 25, and some of those threes ended up being daggers. And then, unlike the Tigers, BYU made its free throws 14 of 17 from the free throw line, 82%. So, I mean, there's not, these aren't really sexy numbers for BYU outside of maybe the 3-point field goal percentage, but good enough on this night to get it done. I'm sure you had those games, Coach, when you had your teams where the percentages weren't where you wanted them to be, but you still got to win, and you were happy to have it.
Yeah, I've always said you can win with offense, you can win with 3-point shooting, but you can win with defense too, and you can win with rebounding. So you have to put all 3 of those together, because there's going to be nights you don't make those threes. You got to still win. But to win this big and to have 21 turnovers on the road, and a lot to me, I'd say 15 of those turnovers, they can clean those up.
Yeah.
They can clean those up. So if they can clean them up, then that'll really affect their team going forward.
Turnovers, the Tigers turned the ball over 14 times. BYU had 16 points off of turnovers. BYU turned the ball over 21 times, and the Tigers had 16 points off of turnovers as well. Points in the paint, BYU with 20, Pacific with 18. Second chance points, BYU 11, Pacific 2. Fast break points, BYU 14, Pacific 9. And points off the bench, 31 to 14 in favor of BYU. BYU out-rebounded Pacific 45-29, 10-9 in the offensive rebound category. There were 2 ties, 3 lead changes. The Cougars' best scoring run, a 12-0 run in the first half at the 8:46 mark. And the Tigers' best scoring run, an 8-0 run in the second half at 5:05. And that game, the game had gotten away by that point. BYU led by as many as 26. Tigers led by as many as 7. It was 8-1. BYU led for just under 34 minutes in this one. The Tigers led for about 4 minutes. When all was said and done, BYU comes away with a 69-49 win, as we are joined now by head coach Leonard Perry. Always kind enough to join us on Pacific Courtside Live. And coach, obviously a tough one here for you tonight. BYU didn't shoot the ball particularly well. They shot the ball well enough from beyond the arc to get out of here with a win, despite turning the ball over 21 times. What were your main takeaways from this one tonight?
Well, in the second half, I looked at the stat sheet, and we held this team to 42% in the second half, 33 from 3. I'm not sure what the second half rebounding edge was, but we got pummeled pretty good there. But this game offensively, we looked like a team that hadn't practiced in a week, and we were pretty close to that. We were out of rhythm. We got back to how we were playing during the 5-game stretch where we didn't play well. Some of our shots looked selfish. We fragmented from our sets. What we were looking for turned into some one-on-one that snowballed. I thought in the first half they made us pay when we missed those. We gave up 10 points at half in transition, which is not like us for the most part. We couldn't get back, couldn't get our defense set. They had uncontested looks. They whipped it around and got good looks, and they got a lead, and they got comfortable offensively. We're just out of sync. We're just out of sync. That team's rolling. It's won 5 in a row. We won 3 in a row. We were here to 26. The staff was. We couldn't get guys back, and I thought it really bothered us because we wanted to put some things in, have some real good practice time, and we couldn't get them back. We just couldn't get them back. We didn't get Jordan back until today. It's the first time we had the whole team back, which is what it is. We have enough talent, in my opinion, to win games like this. We don't have at times the maturity to get it done when we hit adversity. In terms of the layoff, we're not mature enough to just come back and be able to strap on our boots and do this for 40 minutes. We're not quite there yet. But I was proud of the way we defended in the second half. I was just disappointed in us offensively all the way around. I did not like our shot selection. I didn't like our execution. And we were out of sync.
Where did this game, you guys started, having said all that, you guys, I thought, had a great start. You're up 8-1 right out of the gate. I thought the energy was good. Where in your mind did the game start to turn?
In transition. They came down. We blew an assignment off the ball. They blew by us. We got in rotations. They whipped to the corner. Whip. Wide open 3. Came down again off a missed shot. And they really started to attack us that way. And it snowballed. They had 10 points before I could look up. And 10 of those were out of transition. They got comfortable, and when they got comfortable, they got confident, and that was a stretch we couldn't make up for. By halftime, we were lurking around, hoping to get into half. With it at 10, Jordan, I wanted to run a ghost screen with Makai coming up at 6 seconds. Jordan doesn't call Makai up, just fragments off, goes one-on-one. The ball doesn't hit the rim, and we don't get a chance to cut that to 10.
Coach?
Yeah, offensively, nothing went right. And then when balls looked like they were going to go in, they bounced out. Free throws didn't go in. Just one of those games where when it's snowing inside, it's not good. And BYU played solid tonight.
Yeah.
I think anytime. I said it might be. I don't know if they pass the ball like this all the time, but they made some of the worst passes I've seen on a BYU team. They're throwing the ball all over the place.
They are.
But offensively, they do run good stuff, and they can score, and they share the ball very well, and you guys just got behind, and whatever you did was just kind of the wrong thing all the time. You know, got a couple tough calls, and then everything kind of went the opposite way. So I told Zach afterwards, sometimes you just got to forget it, get to the next game, and get going.
Yeah, that's the good and the bad. Like I'm gonna languish this. I walk around my neighborhood tonight and take my pity bath. You know, I'll call a friend or two and say some words that, you know, I can only say to them. And by tomorrow, when the alarm clock goes off, it's like this didn't even happen, because if it lingers in this league, it can get ugly on you. And LMU's a really good basketball team. They're really good. They've won 10 games non-conference. But I have faith in this group. I think they'll bounce back. We need tomorrow's practice together. We need it desperately. You know, some coaches will say, well, you can't do much. You got a game on Saturday. Well, I disagree with that. We need the repetition. We need the bouncing of each other's bodies, because we haven't had it for a week, and that really hurt us. It just hurt us. I just thought we got out of sync, and we could never get in sync. And give BYU credit. They played really well tonight. You know, Sam went down with an injury. You know, that's a starter, and Donovan goes down with an injury. That's a starter. And, you know, the only reason that we didn't have our normal starting lineup is because we haven't seen those guys until yesterday.
I was going to say, was that the reason for the limited minutes for Tyler and for Jordan?
I didn't think it was right to stick them out there in a game like this to start it, you know, and they would be just dog tired. I thought that'd be a bad idea, so that's why they didn't start. I wanted to gradually work them in. You know, I just thought it was unfair to them physically, you know, to just stick them out there. And, you know, we get in the hole early. I wanted to get off to a good start, and we did that.
Next year, you better have Christmas. Just have them stay at your house. Have everybody stay at your house. Have a little Christmas dinner, open some presents, and just stay here.
I mean, who could have predicted that?
One year, we had to play Georgetown at Vegas when John Thompson was there. And they had a good ball club, obviously. And we had a really good team. And it was on the 27th of December. And I told my guys, I said, I got to decide by today if we're, you know, this was earlier, if we're going to play the game.
Yeah.
But I said, if we play the game, nobody's going home. And so we stayed, we practiced, and we went there, and we ended up beating Georgetown, had a great win. But I said, like, you just don't have any Christmas at home that year, you know. But most of the time we do have a break, you know.
Yeah, you know, Coach, I thought about it long and hard. We had so many new guys when we made this schedule. And I said, hey, the last game we'll play is on the 21st. We'll disperse from Houston, and we'll have from the 21st to the 26th. I had no idea we're going to have this earth-shattering blizzard.
Southwest Airlines crashes.
And I just couldn't predict that we wouldn't see these guys.
Well, you didn't have that in your back pocket, you know.
I didn't have that in my back pocket. No, that wasn't in my back pocket, Coach. I couldn't see that. I mean, and of course, all of our guys are on Southwest. All the plane tickets are on Southwest.
Yeah.
So I'm like, are you really kidding me? So, I mean, it is what it is. We'll bounce from it, and we got to move on.
Well, I wasn't over here texting. I was checking. I was pulling up the score. LMU defeated Portland 92-72 tonight. I think that speaks to your point.
I told our staff, all of our staff, we kind of keep it rolling. Like, who do you have in this game tonight? I said, I'm just telling you, this team is going to be. My entire staff said Portland win this game. I said, no, they won't. No, they won't. LMU's playing really, really well.
Are they flying Southwest?
I hope so.
You might get that done by 2 o'clock.
Yeah. I hope they are. I hope they are, Coach.
Hey, Coach, I know you got a lot to do before Saturday, so get after it, and we'll see you in a couple days. And Merry Christmas, Coach.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks.
That's Leonard Perry, always kind enough to join us on Pacific Courtside Live. Is in our final score tonight, BYU 69 and Pacific 49, and we've gone through all the numbers. So, I mean, just a quick word from you, Coach, as to what you do now. I mean, you have, 2 games in 3 days now. You're into the league grind, and you got a matinee on New Year's Eve, and it's a quick turnaround here for a tough LMU team.
I think they got to shorten their rotation. You know what I mean? Now, they will with those 2 guys being hurt. That might help them. but they got a shortened rotation where guys are playing continuity. But they got to get in to run the offense like they were against San Jose and Fresno State, where they're passing the ball 5-6 times, sharing the ball, looking for good shots. You know, they got into going a little too much one-on-one, and you need some one-on-one. I like good players going one-on-one, but you just can't rely on it the whole night. And these two good teams are going to pack it in. You know, and Pacific didn't shoot the three that great. They didn't shoot free throws that great either. But they're going to have to be, when they have the ball, the other team doesn't have the ball, so they don't have to rebound or play defense against them. But when they shoot after 2 passes and they're playing defense longer than you play offense, the side, they're not a real big team, Pacific. Yeah. They're kind of skinny and they're not that big, so it's going to wear on them, especially when they start playing bigger teams. So the offense has to dictate how they play, even though their defense is not bad. Their turnovers weren't that bad today, but their shot selection and what they did to get shots was not very good. Well, but they had a freshman guard started for the first time on a big home game. You know, I mean, you don't know all these other problems. I said before the game, what did I say? There's some, with the starting lineup, I said there's some guys that didn't get back. Yeah. I mean, you know there's some problem. You know what I mean? But that's part of life. You know, you anticipate it, but you can't anticipate every problem in life either.
Yeah, well, we'll see if some rest does the Tigers well. Again, Saturday, the Tigers and LMU, and that will be a 2 p.m. matinee. And our pregame coverage at 1:45 here on Fox Sports AM 1280 and the WCC Network, and the coach will be back with us for that. And that about does it for us tonight from the Spano Center. Before I go, thanks so much to you, the fans, for tuning in. Do sincerely hope you enjoy each and every one of our broadcasts. I'd also like to thank everybody involved in Pacific Athletics. A special shout out to Henry Gold and the SID for men's basketball. Our director for our television broadcast, Michael January, his outstanding video team brought you all the pictures from inside the Spano Center. And I'm Mike Murray, the executive producer of Pacific Men's Basketball on the radio. My partner is the legend, Bob Thomason. And I'm Zach Bayrudy saying so long from Stockton. Again, our final score tonight, the BYU Cougars 69, Pacific Tigers 49. We'll see you on Saturday afternoon right back here on Fox Sports AM 1280 and the WCC Network. So long, everyone.